Experience, mate. Look, take it from me, that stuff wants soft. It was hard as nails.
Yeah, but what was Ken Melvin doing with it?
Well, look, Alec Peters left his thermos behind, right? And he sent Ken back to get it from the locker room, and he, you know... So...
Gave it a going over?
Well, he had a gander, yeah. Well, it's only natural, isn't it? Anyone would have done, wouldn't they?
What? Dirty magazines, Sergeant Peters?
Yeah, but who left them on the front desk? That's what I want to know.
Discipline. Oh, you mean schoolgirls and all that?
Well, to be honest with you, they were a more immature student, but I said they weren't half getting some.
Could I interest you in duty, Hollis?
Yes, sir.
What a jerk in it, son.
Sergeant.
A discretion, is that clear? Nothing wrong with being keen on the job, Hollis?
No, son.
Don't go berserk. All right, 2 remand prisoners means we're short on cells.
Oh, day off then, eh, Sarge?
No, Hollis, Barton Street once we're full up. So winos and domestics can wait, eh? That will please the Chief Super. You going to share this joke, David?
No, Sarge.
Or is it one you're going to flog to Tony Blackburn? All right, that's it. Right, latecomers. Stamp 5 beat. Hollis, 4 beat.
Oh, God.
Sorry, first come, first serve with me. Abel, 6 beat. Mary will drop you off on the way, all right? Davis, you're at Crown Court, aren't you? Off you go.
Of course, it's a lot more work for us, but if they're starting at $12,000 a year, we can demand value for money.
I know I shouldn't be surprised by figures like that, but it makes you think, doesn't it?
What was it when you started, eh? £8 a week?
£6.17 and 6. In those days, they knew you were motivated. There was no way you were doing it for the money at that price.
Right. Well, I should be back about 6 or quarter past. Only a few more candidates to see.
I want you to go and arrest him. He's still there doing it now. How many other people is he going to assault?
I'll deal with this. You can go on, Mary.
Okay.
If you don't step up the pavement, madam. I'm afraid it's only common assault.
Common? These tomatoes are not common. And you look at the mark on my coat.
What exactly did you say to the storeholder?
I simply queried the price of some of his produce, because I know he charges me more than he does other people.
139 receiving. Go ahead, Ken.
I've seen him deliberately changing the price tag on some of his fruit when he sees me coming, and others. I'm not the only one. So I pointed out that I and 1 or 2 other people know what he's doing. So he throws this at me.
Will do. Out. Look, love, if you go to the court, you can take a summons out against him. There's nothing I can do.
Court? So you're not going to arrest him?
I've got to go, madam. I'm sorry.
Well, what about the evidence?
Just one drink, I've told you once. I'll do me a favour. You've had enough. I haven't had one. I've got in my pub, you haven't. Now get lost. Oi! What?
Now,
I've got five you, son.
All right. What's your game?
I just want a drink.
He's out of his skull.
Hey, I'll deal with this.
Look, I don't have to serve anyone. I've just had my pub decorated. I don't want drunks like him littering the place up.
I said, keep out of it. Come on, off you go.
I've got to go and see Susan. I can't see her without a drink.
You're well over the top now, mate.
I'm not, honest, please. Please.
What's this then?
Oh, yeah.
I've got him on prescription.
And you want a drink?
I've only had a few.
Oh, he's a pillhead, is he? Come on, off the premises.
Here, stop that, or you're nicked.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
You all ready for the last round?
Yes, the candidates are all here, sir. The first one will be with us in 2 minutes.
Oh, good.
Here's his file.
Yes, Robert Gower.
How many candidates have we got left to see?
6, sir.
And how many have we got to select this afternoon?
1.
5 unlucky candidates, then.
Right, gentlemen.
How long you been on Valium, then?
Since Susan went back to her mother's. She's got my kid.
Yeah, I understand that. But it's not going to help getting doped up, is it?
Her mother wants it for herself. Well, she's not.
Now listen, Tony.
If she won't let me see her, I'm going to do something.
Are you listening to me?
Yeah.
Is she on the phone?
Who?
Susan, at her mum's. Has she got a phone, has she?
Yeah.
Right, here's what you're going to do. First, go home and think about what you're going to say to her. And then ring her up and arrange with Susan's mum when you can go and see her, all right?
No, I can't. She won't.
Why not?
But her mum hates me. She won't let me say anything.
Come on, we're going back to your flat. Never mind booze, it's a cup of tea you need.
I'm all right. I'll manage. Cheers, mate.
139 receiving.
Yeah, can you give us a sit rep, please, Tim?
Yeah. I've dealt with the incident at the Green Man, and I'm on my way back. It was NCPA.
Congratulations, mate.
I gave them both the warning formula and sent him on his way.
The publican was a bit of a handful, but the other bloke I just reckon he needed a bit of calming down.
Good.
He's gone home
So
now.
Yeah,
can I
cheers,
help you?
Tim. Out.
Where is this?
Gordon Bennett. You're asking
But
for a
the stallholder's
situation
okay,
report.
it's
He gives
just
you
the
a
stall.
novel. Shh.
Sorry, madam. Fish Street.
Who did, sir?
She did. And what happened to you lot anyway? I came and spoke to one of you.
Campion Way. It's a domestic disturbance. Apparently a child could be involved. If you could check it out.
On my way, darling.
I don't know his full name, but apparently he's called Tony.
No.
Sierra Oscar from 139.
Spare me the details, Alec. I'm just passing on information.
Inspector Munro hasn't spoken to us, sir.
No, but he's spoken to me, and I'm speaking to you. Now, he's understandably concerned that the state of the locker room constitutes a health hazard, and it wants clearing up.
Well, I'll see to it, sir.
And, by all accounts, there's no need for you to stop at the PC's locker room. Sergeant.
No, so I'll go through them all, sir.
And should you find anything unusual, I suggest you put it straight in the bin, if you catch my meaning.
Excuse me, sir. I've just had a call from a woman in Campion Way. It looks like a possible siege situation.
All right, come on. What's the SP?
Well, PC's Hollis and Turnham are there now. I think there could be drugs involved if it's the same man that PC Able spoke to earlier.
Right, where's the duty officer?
4 hours dentist, sir.
Ah. You better get straight over there, Alex.
No, sir.
It's number 19, Sarge.
Check.
Who reported this?
The next door neighbour, sir. Apparently the occupiers are Mrs. Richards and her daughter Susan. They came home to find a man with a knife inside the house. There's a young child involved as well, sir.
Oh, yeah, pull the other one, Reg.
He's destroyed my
Yes,
house.
fine.
They're not doing
He's
anything
absolutely
about
crazy. We're going to need a
My
dog.
lovely house is destroyed.
The house is wrecked, Sarge.
Nobody
Never
is
mind the
doing
house. He nearly
anything
cut my head
about
up with a
my
carving
house.
knife.
Okay, everyone, can you get back first? Back, everyone back.
My life
Tim,
is
I want you to
destroyed
cover the
by
rear.
this man.
And no
You've
bloody
got
heroics,
to
all
do
right?
something
Get
about
back,
it.
please.
Am I invisible?
You! Shut it! Rich. Brief the lads, will you? I'm going round the back to keep Abel company.
Sarge.
Viv. Look after Miss Richards and the baby, will you?
Right, Sarge.
So, man.
Have you established what's going on inside the house?
Yeah, I'm going to need a negotiator and a social worker as soon as possible.
Sort that out, will you?
Yes, sir.
Anything else at this stage?
No, sir, except I can confirm he's alone in the house and armed with a knife of some sort. They say he's a big man, he's on drugs, and very dangerous.
Sierra Oscar from 139. It is Tony. I'm going to go in.
What do you think he's doing?
139.
Never mind about all that. Get hold of Alec Peters.
Tim? Tim? Where the hell are you? Oh, no.
Hello? Stay there. I said stay there! All right. I just want to talk. I want to help Tony. Listen to me, please. Tony, please listen. Don't. Got you. Please listen, Tony. I promise no tricks. No one's going to come busting in through the door. Says you. Can I stand? Well, I'm going to. See? No radio, nothing. Just me. You make a better target now.
Why should you want to hurt me?
That cow out there. She's done this.
Yeah, you're dead right.
What?
I've seen her. She's a right sleaze bag.
She better not hear you.
Tough. You're entitled to see your own child. You tell her that.
You idiot. You think or something? What the hell do you think I've been trying to do? Oh, you've never spoken to her.
Are you calling me a liar?
All you want to do is get me out of here.
Right. Go on. You know it all. That's it. Kill yourself. Listen, mister. You're full of your own troubles. Go on, do it. Do it. Do it.
You're mad.
Yeah, and you're sane. Listen, I've arranged a meet between you and Susan. That's her name, isn't it?
Yeah?
Yeah. But you've got it all sussed. I'm a liar. Okay. I'm off.
Stop. Honest.
Yeah. And you can see the baby as well.
She said that?
Yeah. I'll prove it if you like. Let me use the radio.
No tricks?
Sarge.
You right, Tim?
Fine, Sarge. I'm talking to Tony, and I'm just telling him about Susan and the baby.
Yes.
And I'm just saying, no hassle. He can talk to her and hold the baby.
Tim, yes, there's no sweat. Take your time, son. Watch yourself, son.
All right?
It's a trick.
Okay.
No, just hang on. I'm confused. I can definitely see her.
You've heard the radio. Come on. I've done my bit. Now you do yours. Come on, let's get you tidy.
I can't go up like this. They'll see I've been crying.
Here.
You've really got it in for us, haven't you? What are you trying to do? Give us all heart attacks? You know I'm going to have to tell Inspector Munro about this.
Yes, Sarge.
And there'll probably be words with Mr. Conway, too.
I believe I did the right thing, Sarge.
You what?
I knew the man. I spoke to him earlier, Sarge.
Yeah, when he was as high as a kite and you sent him on his way. What on earth were you thinking of?
Well, you said that a domestic...
Yes, domestics, yet not homicidal maniacs with meat cleavers.
It wasn't a meat cleaver, Sarge.
It could have been very serious. You could have been killed. And apart from how terribly sorry I'd have been if you were, it would not have got me very many brownie points. Is that clear?
Yes, Sarge.
Oh, come on, Tim, you had us terrified.
I wasn't enjoying myself either, Sarge.
No risks, eh? And next time you use this, nobody's looking for heroes. And if you haven't learnt that yet, now is the time to start. All right. Knock out your report and get back out there. And this time, on foot. And Tim? Canteen first, eh?
Would you say on balance that you put your sporting interests first at university?
Well, I was very keen on rowing. I always have been.
And rugby?
Yes, I played for the college. I didn't get a blue, I'm afraid.
You're disappointed in your degree?
I think one makes a sort of decision. I decided not to spend 3 years in the library.
I think that's easier to forgive than the fact that you bumped corpus last year.
All right, Mr. Gow. Are there any questions you'd like to ask us?
Well, yes, I would like to ask, on the graduate entry scheme, how long one has to spend on the beat.
The minimum requirement is 2 years. Do you have a problem with that?
Oh, no, not at all. It's just that I thought, you know, that management is probably the area I'm most suited to.
Yes, I understand that. The point of the graduate entry scheme is to allow the recruit to work at as many fields as possible. That way we find out where their strengths are.
Thank you.
Hey! Come on, you, up! I said, up! What's it all about? Are you like kids? Come on, up you get. Hey! You said pack it in! Anybody see what happened? Look, just shake hands and get yourselves on fire. Behave yourself. You better go while you can, all right? Come on, cut it out. Hey, you've had your warning. Sierra Oscar, the 139. Come on.
So you're not very keen on sports, Mr. Turnbull?
Well, no, it's not that. It's like, I'm normally a bit busy, you know. I'm rebuilding my girlfriend's house.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's a copper. WPC. She's got 2 kids and...
Oh, I mean, it's all sorted out. She's divorced, and it's, her ex isn't too bothered that he's got another family.
Was it her idea that you joined the police force?
Well, no, not her idea. No, it was my idea. Of course, I've talked to her about it. I mean, well, I've always wanted to be a policeman. I've tried twice.
Yes, I believe the last time you failed on the exam. Have you done anything to improve your qualifications?
Well, yes, I've sat the exam again, and I got an English O-level. But on my maths, I only got a 7.
Oh, yes, your maths is still letting you down.
Well, I mean, I can add up. It was a geometry.
Yes, well, I don't think we need to go into the details of the exam here.
Tell us what you see as the role of a police officer, Mr. Turnbull.
It's all about controlling people, isn't it? I mean, that could be helping someone across a road, or well, arresting them if you need to. Well, that's what I want to do anyway.
If you could just sign there, please, madam.
Think yourselves fortunate the stallholder doesn't want to press charges.
Well, it's disgusting. Look at my coat. Who's going to pay for the dry cleaning? He overcharges.
He shouldn't be in this market anyway.
No, he should not.
And since no damage was done and you're paying for the fruit that was spoiled, you've both been cautioned.
It should never have come to this.
No, it shouldn't.
If that policeman had done his
You're
duty...
lucky you're not facing a charge of criminal damage. If the cells weren't so overcrowded, I'd cool you off in one. Right, now kick him out of here.
I want to make a complaint.
My God, this is a day.
You and me both, sunshine.
I blame the last relief lumbering us with unfinished business. You should see the state of those cells.
We all pass it on to the next lot, don't we? We get by the skin of our teeth. Hey, look. There's your major problem.
I've got another one for you, Sarge. Drunk and disorderly.
Yes, I agree. I can't fault his qualifications. On paper, Guy should make a model policeman.
Then, with respect, sir, I don't see what your objection is.
It's just that I expected to see a level of commitment which wasn't there.
He's guilty of being too well qualified, perhaps.
I beg your pardon?
Well, isn't that the complaint we hear so often from senior management? I got where I am without an expensive set of credentials. Why can't they?
No, it's not what I'm saying.
I must agree with Mr. Wilkes. As I'm sure you're aware, the management and recruitment guidelines continually stress the importance of education.
And I'm sure you would agree that brilliant qualifications do not necessarily mean a good police officer. I'll consider Guy's application a lot more seriously if he applies again in 2 years' time.
Doesn't this go against the prescribed ruling, sir?
Well, you know what they say about rules.
Yes, sir.
What we need is good, solid coppers on the ground. Not necessarily Bramshill scholars or overachievers. Just men who are happy to be on the streets and learning about them. That's why my choice is Turnbull. Fair enough?
Yes, of course.
Oh, Derek, you got a problem?
No, sir, not there. She's the least of my worries. It has been what you might call an eventful afternoon.
Oh?
PC Abel's.
Abel?
Probationer. He went over the top a bit this afternoon and gave us all a bit of a fright.
Nobody hurt, I hope?
No, Sergeant Peters looked after him all right.
Good. I'll go and have a word with the sergeant. Perhaps I should have a chat with PC Abel while I'm at it. I've got time on my hands. It's probably long overdue.
Yes, friendly chaps from the air traffic controller might stop him going into orbit.
All right. Well, I'll play it by ear.
I don't like drunks without names, son.
Funny, isn't it, Sarge? Nothing on him at all.
Am I laughing?
Oh, Sergeant, everything all right?
Everything's fine, sir.
PC Abel, just the man. My office, 5 minutes, please.
Sarge? What do you think he wants me for?
Probably a long service medal.
Hey, somebody! Hey! Come on! Farmers!
You're trying to attract my attention.
What about my money?
So, how are you liking the job?
It's great, sir.
Good. Well, your paperwork's good. Appearance excellent. That's vital.
Yes, sir.
Public confidence is reflected by the bobby on the beat. The most important cog in the wheel, never forget that.
No, sir.
I've heard it said that you're rather impulsive.
I don't quite understand, sir.
Don't worry. Happens to lots of young officers. Hopefully it'll be replaced by experience.
Oh, I see. Just I'm keen, sir.
Not to be confused with zeal. Just remember the service expects the very best from you. A hasty decision of yours on the streets could finish up in the House of Lords.
I don't intend to put my job on the line, sir, if that's what you mean.
Good. Because the days of the hothead are over, thankfully. Right. Is there anything that you want to bring to my attention?
Not really, sir.
Because this is the time and the place to clear the air. Ensure we're all pulling in the same direction. No clash of personalities. Right, thank you.
There is one thing, sir. The Green Man.
Pardon?
The pub, sir.
I'm sorry, it doesn't ring a bell.
You know, sir, the Spit and Sawdust place down Farquhar Street.
Oh, yes. Yes, what's the problem?
I don't think it's the sort of place that one officer should respond to at chucking out time.
No, good point. Well, tell the sergeant. You, got a case today?
Yes, sir, drunken disorder.
Ah. You did give him a chance to go home?
Yes, sir, but it was impossible.
It's all right. We must be firm. Temper our decisions with mercy. Let's ensure the custody officer keeps a check according to the regulations.
I couldn't avoid arresting him, sir.
Oh, no, I'm sure you did the right thing. All right, Abel, thank you.
Thank you, sir. You wanted me, Sarge?
Straightforward, drunken disorderly, eh?
He was given plenty of opportunity
To what?
To go home, Sarge.
Like his mate?
Yeah, well, he used his head.
Yes, he probably did, which is more than you did, you cretin. Now we know why our itinerant inebriate had nothing on him.
I don't understand, Sarge.
That mate, the one you let go...
What about him?
It's now alleged he was in the process of robbing him.
What's your name?
Angelo.
Angelo what?
Michelangelo. Look, I'm just trying to grant a few bob, all right? Or would you rather I was out mugging old ladies?
You need permission.
Oh, leave him alone.
You'll have to wash it off.
What with?
Yeah. Major player brigade.
Sierra Oscar to Sierra Oscar 800 receiving, over.
Sierra Oscar 800 receiving.
Richard, customer at Keyboard's music shop using stolen credit card. Are you anywhere near? Over.
Yes, I'm in the shopping precinct. On my way. Out. Shift it.
You show him the pork pie and tell him all about it. All right, love. Mine, there you go.
Say hello to Twinkle.
What's he done then? Eating the mare's budgie?
Prisoner's property. Look after him, will you?
Do what?
Well, Ted Roach is just banging up the owner for breaking bail.
Well, couldn't you take him round the kennels?
It's absolutely chocker. Look, I'll owe you one, all right?
Yeah, well, what am I supposed to do with him?
Well, I don't know. Look, ask Alec Peters. He'll help you out.
Oh, dear. Look at the legs on that. That'll keep you busy for a couple of hours. Eh?
We've kept him waiting as long as we can.
Excuse me, sir.
All right, that's enough. That's enough.
Well, Christine should get it. She's damn good.
Yeah, but Bramshill are also looking for a good fly half.
Oh.
And last night I heard there was a young fellow by the name of Radlett who's also applied. Yorkshire County player.
Yes?
Oh, sorry, sir.
It's all right, Alec, come in.
Mrs. Conway's just brought this in for you, sir.
Oh, subtle hint, Derek. My wife just leaves mine on the doorstep with a note.
I forgot it this morning. It's my monkey suit tonight, Stu. Saved me going home to get changed. Thanks, Alex.
Is it a black tie job? I hadn't realised.
I better get hold of Maureen.
You ought to train her better, sir.
Yes, obviously.
He says he stole the credit card in a burglary, Graham Road.
Well, check it out with Marshall. We'll get 2 for the price of 1 there. Good work, Richard. Stick him in cell number 2.
Right, sure.
What's happened here?
Oh, that's Twinkle, Mum. He's twinkled all over my floor.
Excuse me, Mum.
Check the rosters, let me know if there's a problem.
Oh, what time will you be leaving, Mum?
The usual, why?
I just thought you might be popping off a bit early for the do.
What do?
Inspector's knees up. I expect you'll be swinging from the chandeliers tonight.
No.
Life and soul of the party, isn't she?
Don't blame her ducking out of that one. I mean, she'd be a real rose amongst the thorns, wouldn't she? Sort of booze-ups they go in for.
The Duke's Head, Walker Road. Landlord having difficulty with customers on premises, over.
We'll take it.
Okay, Norika. Have one for me while you're there.
I didn't think you'd be interested. You know what these dudes are like.
No, I've never been invited to one.
What's that racket?
It's all right, sir. It's Twinkle. Just getting him some dog meat.
Councillor Clifton's arrived, sir.
Right, I'll be right there, Mum. I apologise, Christine.
Turnham, what's happening?
Disturbance at the Duke's Head, ma'am. I'm backing up Data and Ford.
Why?
Sergeant Peters told me to take the panda in case the girls got into trouble.
They're not girls, Turnham, they're officers. I'm sure they're quite capable of handling the situation. After all, the Duke's Head is hardly a spit and sawdust saloon.
No, ma'am.
You've got a beat of your own to cover, haven't you?
Yes, ma'am.
Then do it.
13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Can we have you out, please, gentlemen?
Come on then, darling, let's have them off.
Now then, you have been warned. These ladies are going to take everything down.
Keep
your grubby little hands to yourself.
Will you all go now?
Just finishing our drinks.
Let's go and have a slurp, my lovely. Come on.
Sierra Oscar from Sierra Oscar 181 receiving disturbance at the Duke's Head pub. We need assistance.
Assistance? Let me give you some assistance, my lovely. Come over here.
Oscar, on your bike.
Oi, less of that.
Here, let's try your hat on.
Assistance as soon as possible. Give me that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, not it.
I've double-checked. The credit card was stolen from a house in Graham Gardens 3 months ago.
I know. Chumming the cells has given us chapter and verse.
He had the credit card in his hand when I nicked him. He did the burglary.
Didn't. A man called Dixon's already put his hand up to it. He was sent down 3 weeks ago. That burglary is written off, Sarge.
No way. Can't be.
We talked to DC Carver about it. He lifted him. He claimed the clear-up. 40 other offences taken into consideration in court. That was one of them.
That's impossible.
There's some monkey business going on here.
The file's closed, Sarge.
God, they're going to love this upstairs, aren't they?
Stood there like tits in a trance, the pair of you. I mean, what do I pay my rates for?
Could I have your name, please, sir?
Giles. Giles Trevelyan. Look, I'm getting married tomorrow.
Congratulations.
But don't get cocky with me. I've got to get home.
Not until we've finished with you, sir.
Damn wogs.
Pardon?
My rates and taxes pay for your wages, darling. Don't you forget it.
Would you like to rejoin your colleagues and wait for the van? You too.
I mean, what are they doing sending around a couple of females to sort something like this? Should have had you round in the first place. He put the fear of God into them.
It's a bitch.
Isn't it just?
3 weeks ago, a Mr. Henry Dixon was sent down for burglary, including 40 other offences taken into consideration.
That's right, sir. I nicked him.
Very impressive. 40 clear-ups all in one fell swoop. Makes the books look very good.
They were checked carefully, and they all had his mark on them.
All of them.
What is this?
A youth named Tate has been arrested in possession of a credit card. He says he stole the card in a burglary. One of the burglaries your man Dixon claimed to have committed.
How do you mean, sir?
I mean that two individuals who'd never met each other, to our knowledge, both say they committed the same crime. One of them, Dixon, is doing time for it. The other is sat in our lockup. And we have an almighty cock-up on our hands. Or worse.
Well, maybe Dixon sold the card and this bloke Tate bought it in a pub.
He burgled it, along with a watch, a radio. He knew the whole kit and caboodle.
All right, Alec. All right. It seems clear that our man Tate definitely committed the burglary and your man Dixon didn't.
I don't understand, sir.
No, but you can see how it looks, can't you?
Sir?
You persuade this villain Dixon, who's on a hiding to nothing, to cough up to an additional offence. He's sweet in court, very cooperative, and you clear your desk of one of your unsolved crimes.
If you're suggesting that I fitted him up...
I'm asking you how this extremely embarrassing situation came about, how you managed to drop us in it.
Look, I can assure you...
It's not me you're going to have to convince, Carver. We could have MS-15 crawling all over this station because of this.
Look, I'll check my papers. All I can think is...
You do that. Every one of them. And let's hope we can avoid them pulling you apart. Because that would put the kibosh on a very promising career, Carver.
You've no damn right to drag us in here. The Roach at the Duke's head started it. I'll take him apart.
I'd be careful what you'd say if I was you, sir.
Oh, don't threaten me.
Leave it, Jerry, leave it.
You're pathetic.
This whole thing's just got out of hand. If the landlord had been a bit more cooperative, this wouldn't have happened.
We discussed that with the magistrate, sir. This way, please, gentlemen.
You can't lock us up.
If you don't mind.
You officious little twat. I could buy and
Off
sell
we
you
go,
and...
sir.
You ever had one like this before, Cass?
Yes, sir, up north.
How did they deal with it?
MS-15 came up in a van and took away every crime file in the station. Super had kittens. DCI took early retirement. What's Mr. Brownlow say?
I haven't told him yet, so keep it to yourselves.
This is a different kettle of fish, sir. It's obviously a genuine mistake.
On the face of it, yes.
An old lag like Dixon does so many jobs he'll never remember where he is. One drain pipe looks much like another at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Very convincing, Cass.
She's right, sir. Just look at the MO. 3 o'clock in the morning, up the drain pipe. Sellotape gloves, no prints. All Dixon's trademarks.
Hardly an original approach, is it? Straight out the cat burglar's handbook.
All I can think is he must have made a mistake. He'd been at it for 2 years, all over the manor. 40 jobs. He must have misremembered.
Or somebody primed him.
No way, sir! Dixon volunteered! He was reeling them off. Look, why should I try and fill another clear up with 39 sitting on the table?
Yeah. 39 other jobs. What worries me is what we're going to find when we start lifting the stones on them.
Well, perhaps I should visit Dixon in the nick.
No! You don't go anywhere near him. You go through those files with a fine-tooth comb. Any more that look iffy, I want to know.
Fool. Maggie, look about tonight. Something's cropped up.
That's all right. I'm working late with Mr. Conway. I won't be through until 9:30, 10 myself.
I still might have to cry off. Look, I'm sorry.
Oh, terrific. You're not standing me up again.
You know how it is.
Yeah. Just forget it.
No. Look, I'll try and get it sorted by 10. I'll be in the office.
I think her ladyship's right. The job shouldn't send nursemaids to hold you girls' hands every time we go on a call. Two teas, gorgeous.
We're not asking for that.
Sounds like it to me.
Oh, you'd have sorted it single-handed, would you, Rambo?
You women get the same wages, you should take the same stick. Am I right?
Yes, Quinlan, we do, and more besides.
Yes, Mum.
Can I see you two in my office?
Yes, Mum.
That dog's howling the place down. Could you do something about it?
Yeah, well, I was just
Now,
gonna...
please, Quinlan.
Yes, Mum.
Just keep this to yourself for the moment, Alec. If Mr. Brownlow gets wind of it, the balloon will go up.
What's the form then, sir? I've charged the lad, Turnham Collard, with fraudulent use of the credit card. Now, do I charge him with the burglary or not, sir?
No, not yet. Let it stew for a bit. How are we going to get out of this one, I do not know.
Do you believe Carver?
I prefer to. He's a good lad. Mistakes happen.
All sorts of shenanigans happen.
Now, here we've got a problem.
Sir?
I have just had a very unpleasant phone call.
Well, we're trying to sort it out, sir. I've spoken to Carver and now I'm just waiting for Mr. Burnside.
Carver, is he involved?
What exactly was this phone call, sir?
The landlord of the Duke's Head is threatening to make an official complaint.
Oh?
We really must have more backup before sending female officers into situations of this kind on licensed premises, Delic.
I did send support, sir, but Inspector Fraser decided it wasn't necessary.
Oh, did she? Well, I think it might be a good idea if you pop down and had a word with this landlord chap, see if you can conciliate Delic.
Yes, sir.
He's chairman of the local Chamber of Commerce. I can do without official complaints about cock-ups on my patch.
Right, sir.
What's Carver got to do with this?
I was thinking about something else.
Nothing serious, I hope.
No. Nothing to concern you, sir. Procedural hiccup.
I'll leave you to talk to the landlord, then.
Yes, sir. Straight away.
We asked the men to leave. They refused, and then the furniture started to fly, Ma'am.
I called in straight away then.
But not before?
No, Ma'am. We didn't think it was necessary.
Well, it all happened so quickly.
These things do.
Sorry, Christine, can I have a word with you in my office?
Sir?
Are you the two young ladies involved in the fracas at the Duke's Head?
Yes, sir.
Made a bit of a dog's dinner of it, didn't you?
We did our best, sir.
About 20 minutes, Christine.
Right, sir.
Sir, I've managed to dig up the records of Dixon's TICs. I thought you might like
Give them to Carver, then.
Well, of course I will, sir, but I just...
Don't bother me with it now. I'm too busy sorting out WPC's cock-ups without worrying about CID ones.
Oh, yes, I've heard about that.
Oh, have you now? Of course, you're a famous have-a-go girl, aren't you? Perhaps they took a leaf out of your book.
I don't think so, sir. I think they were simply responding to the situation as they found it.
What the hell's a storno for, then? Decoration?
It's not always possible to ask for assistance, even if you think it's needed.
Now, that is a load of cobblers.
With respect,
With
sir.
respect, Marshal. You're talking about two officers walking into a boozer full of drunks. Now, you ask the wettest recruit down at Hendon what to do in that situation, and they'll say send for the van, not pussy around with two girls.
As I say, each situation demands its own response.
And in this case, it's the wrong one.
If those
That's enough, Marshal. Look, I know what the situation was. I've been down there and had a look for myself. Now, the bottom line is you do not put yourself at risk. You don't need to, so why do it? But never mind about all this women's liberation. What happened to common sense? Come on, Cass.
Come in.
Marshall wants a word with you in the collator's room. She's got a printout for you.
Right.
Look, about this cock-up over the burglary, the lad with the credit card?
Who said it's a cock-up?
Mix-up, then. I just thought if you wanted to have a talk about it.
I've heard enough about this one already without you sticking your nose in, Turnham.
Okay. It's just it makes no odds to me who claims the body, that's all.
Oh, yeah? Well, I'm getting skinned over it. I can do without being patronised by you.
Oh, come on.
I mean, we might not all have letters after our name, Turnham, but I do this job by the book.
Don't lose your rag with me.
So you can keep your smug smile to yourself. And don't go mouthing off about this all over the station, right?
I'll tell Marshall you'll be down.
I think I've straightened out the landlord, sir. I doubt he'll be putting in a complaint.
Good. Now, the point is, how do we avoid this happening again? I understand that you stopped PC Turnham rendering assistance, Christine.
I didn't think it was necessary, sir.
Well, you were wrong, weren't you?
I disagree, sir. We're too short on the relief as it is. I can't send out backup to every call.
I understand that. But when female officers are called out to incidents of this kind, we need to take precautions.
I don't follow you.
Christine, there has always been a gentleman's agreement that the girls shouldn't be exposed to this kind of situation without backup.
That's not something I've agreed to.
I appreciate your concern that female officers should be treated the same as their male colleagues. I support you in that. Where it's practical.
With respect, sir, it's not a matter of practicality, it's a matter of law.
I'm sorry.
We'd be in breach of the provision of the Sex Discrimination Act if we operated such a gentleman's agreement, wouldn't we?
Oh, come on, Christine.
You know as well as I do that any situation can get out of hand. It happened last week with Melvin and Stamp outside the Flag. It's an occupational hazard for all of us alike.
Well, I'm going to have to look at this and try and devise some procedural arrangement without, as you say, Christine, discriminating against the female officers.
Right, sir.
OK, thank you. Thanks, Christine.
How do you want to handle this one, sir?
Well, I think a diplomatic word with the duty sergeants would be appropriate.
Right.
Look, Sarge, Carver dumped him on me.
I'm not interested, Quinnan. Find somewhere else to put him.
I've rung Battersea, right? I've tried the local kennels. I've wasted hours on that dog.
Get on the blower to Battersea again. Tell him it's a priority. Alec, you've got 10 minutes. Oh, sir, just the man. Cell 2.
What about it?
So what do I do with him, sir? Do I charge him with a burglary or what?
No. Just charge him with the fraudulent use of the credit card. The other one will sort itself later.
Will he get away with it?
No. It'll go back to court. They'll reopen the case. He'll get his comeuppance later.
Well, where's that leave Carver?
With a lot of paperwork to sort out. Look, we'll get there. Look, this fiasco down at the Duke's Head.
Oh, no, that's not down to me, sir. No, me and Bob Cryer, we sent Turnham down there as soon as we got the shout. Well, Inspector Fraser, she put the mockers on it.
Yeah, well, Inspector Fraser is rightly sensitive to our attitude towards the WPC.
Oh, hold on, the girls don't mind. I mean, they wanted backup.
Yes, you did right. The Chief Superintendent Brownlow is anxious not to allow this sort of thing to happen again. He'd be very grateful if in future any similar situations would be, well, adequately policed, if you catch my drift.
Oh, I see, yeah.
So you'll have a word with the other sergeants, eh?
Oh, I'll get on to that tomorrow as soon as possible.
Right, thank you, Alec, thank you. Christine.
Mr. Abercrombie, Alec, solicitor to Mr. Giles Trevelyan.
Oh, yes.
I believe you had my client incarcerated in your cell, Sergeant.
Yes, sir. He had a rather long liquid lunch at Duke's Head this afternoon. I believe he's getting married tomorrow, sir.
I'd like him bailed, please.
Oh, yes, we can't leave the lucky lady waiting at the church, can we?
I've told Peters, so it's straightened best we can for now.
Right, sir.
But I need that report on my desk, 9 a.m. Now, I'll see Inspector Burnside, and I'll discuss it with Mr. Brownlow tonight.
Sir? Will there be an inquiry?
You're off the hook. Don't worry about that. The inquiry will make us all look like prize wallies, if I can convince them it was a genuine mistake.
Oh, it was, sir.
Come up against any more double bookings, have you?
No, sir. I've checked them all.
Well, check them again. And when you've done that, do it once more for luck. Don't ever do that to me again, Carver. All right?
Carver. Oh, Margaret. Look, I'm not going to be able to make it. Well, what about Saturday? Oh, Maggie, look, don't be like that. Look, I've been dropped right in it here. Margaret.
There is another ticklish little problem come up that I'd like to talk to you about, sir.
What's that?
Night, sir.
Oh, good night, Colin.
Good night, sir. Enjoy the party.
Oh, thank you, Christine. Oh, by the way, good luck with your application at Brams Hill. I hear there's stiff opposition.
Really?
I'm sure you'll do very well. We need more women officers in the top ranks. Keep us chaps on our toes, eh? Anyway, good night. Good night, Christine.
Night.
Oh, still here.
Just off.
Have you got the rest of those Dixon files?
Yeah, they're on my desk. I left the coffee machine on. Switch it off at the mains when you finish, will you?
All right. Cheers.
See you in the morning.
Yeah.
Ah, going anywhere interesting, girls?
Down the boozer.
Oh, well, why don't you go then, eh?
What's that supposed to mean?
Nothing. It's a mean old scene out there, though, isn't it, eh? Never know what you're going to find.
You winding us up, Dave?
No, I'm only having a laugh.
Oh, a real comedian, aren't you?
Not exactly subtle, were you?
Oh, come on, I've had my leg pulled times enough. If I had my way, they wouldn't let them girls out the station.
Oh, come on.
No, straight. I mean, look, if you had your back against the wall, who would you rather be teamed up with, eh? Man or a woman?
Depends on the man. Cuts either way, doesn't it?
Always make both ends meet in the middle, can't you?
Sorry, I was rushing for my bus.
My fault.
Missed it anyway. You couldn't give me a lift, could you?
Not unless you want to sit on the handlebars of my bike.
Oh, no thanks.
Well, night then.
I'll walk with you. It's not safe on my own out there.
Oh, yeah, sure.
All right.
I understand what you're saying, sir. Nevertheless, it leaves me requiring an acting sergeant.
It leaves us requiring a detective inspector, a uniformed sergeant of considerable experience, and an acting sergeant. And at a time when we're short of bodies. I'm sure Marshall will do a good job, Derek, OK?
It's also the principle, sir. We're taking men out of our establishment just to steer a German officer around looking for a few bent motors. If people from the yard want German policemen nannied round London, why don't they do it themselves?
Well, perhaps it wasn't felt sufficiently important to warrant somebody from the yard.
Oh, but it warrants street coppers with more than 40 years' experience between them. It's car engines, sir. They're here looking for stolen car engines while this station's been allowed to go down the pipe.
200 stolen car engines, Derek, and over a period of 18 months.
Well, they should tighten their security up, sir, instead of swanning round here on some kind of rest cure.
Spirit of 1992.
Oh, the villains are going to love 1992.
Well, Frank Burnside's going to have to duck out later on today, deal with this Operation Shopfront. We can't have this man Krantz swanning round London with a probationary PC in tow.
Could have used a detective sergeant.
Wasn't one spare.
Bob Cryer isn't spare, sir.
Derek, we've talked about this before. I've got a lot to do before I go out, all right?
Yes, sir.
200 stolen diesel engines are worth about £500,000. If they're being illegally exported from this country to Africa, we have a fence here dealing with that sort of money. Worth catching.
Yes, sir. Where's Mr. Burnside?
Sir?
Bloke about my height, medium hair, blue eyes, 40-ish, answers to the name of Frank. Ring any bells?
He's not here, sir. But when I came in at 3 o'clock this morning to start...
Very smart, Bob. Quite the detective. Off to deal with Officer Krantz, eh?
Sir.
You see Mr. Burnside yet?
You said to meet him outside.
Tom, I've got one for you.
Sir?
Stamp. He's down for Crown Court on the 15th, the Abelson case.
Yes, sir.
Well, he's on leave that week. He never filled in the dates on his statement form.
Well, he couldn't arrange his leave dates when he filled in the statement because he was going on a course.
Well, see if you can rearrange his leave, will you? I don't think they'll be very happy to move the case just so our Mr. Stamp can loll about on some Spanish floozy's Lilo. And get me an answer today.
Yes, sir. I don't want to look like a detective. I want to look like a businessman.
It's his cock-up. He had the file after me. Why can't he rearrange Stamp's holiday?
And why can't he act as a tour guide for a German officer? It's the same reason. It's a nothing job, and he's the boss. I'll see you later.
Yeah, see you.
Is this the best you can do?
That's the best there is. I'm the inspector, mate. You can drive.
You know what they say? Never volunteer. It's an old army saying.
I'll have to remember that next time I'm in an old army. You've been burgled.
That's right. For the 3rd time this week. They're there so often, I'm beginning to think they've moved in.
Right, so well, I'll get a panda to come round. What was the address?
I don't want a panda. I live in a short life flat, not a bloody zoo. I want a detective.
Yeah, well, that's not normal procedure until the crime's been evaluated.
It isn't normal to be burgled 3 times in a week, is it? We're not in the realms of the normal. Normal is when somebody burgles you, a policeman comes round and either catches them or not, but at least makes some effort towards doing so. That is normal. I want a detective!
Oi, oi, oi! What's all this shouting about?
What are they up to?
Couldn't tell you, Richard. They don't bother clearing CID operations with me.
Hierarchical. It's in the nature of the work.
I want a detective. I want a proper investigation.
There isn't a detective in the station at the moment, so they're all out.
Working on more important cases, yes. All right. I want to speak to Charles Brownlow.
Well, the chief super doesn't normally see anyone without an appointment, sir.
Give him my name. He'll speak to me.
Have a look at her. Is she not fragrant? Nothing wrong with admiring beautiful women, Bobby.
You go blind. Too much sitting in dirty motors with Ted Roach.
I'm in the wrong job. I'll bet she's waiting for some geezer who earns 50 grand a year, drives a Jag, and's got a second home in the sun.
Well, 50 grand a year, you're definitely in the wrong job.
Do I detect a slight edge?
This is a waste of time.
Well, it's a cop.
Charles, I'd very much like to speak to you.
What, now?
Yeah.
Oh, you better come up, Alec.
Inspector Burnside from Sierra Oscar receiving, over.
Burnside receiving.
State of play report on your operation shop front. All quiet, indoors for the morning, received.
Thanks, Tom, received.
Yeah, let's have a go at that. Tom, it's Bob.
Go ahead, Bob.
Any message from our German officer?
No. Were you expecting one?
Well, they are supposed to be famous for their timekeeping, aren't they? Cheers.
We're here for the day, Bob. If I were you, I'd just relax and enjoy yourself.
Thanks for the tip.
Hey, up. What can I do for you, darling?
Is that a police radio?
Sierra Oscar 554, receiving, over.
I'm Officer Kranz, Deutsches Bundeskriminalamt. And you are?
Detective Inspector Burnside. This is Sergeant Cryer.
My name is Wilma.
Bob. Frank. No bags?
I travel light. They're in the left luggage. You've been briefed?
Sort of.
Well, let's get on with it.
Hey, George, man, what's happening?
This is a babysitting job.
Make him a cup of tea, that sort of thing, eh?
Wait for the scenes of crime officer to arrive. You're only good at making tea.
So, I expect.
Oh, I'd better make him a cup of tea then. Brownlow wants him made a good cup of tea.
I'm surprised he didn't turn out himself.
According to Alec Peters, he would have if he could have. This bloke's some kind of political activist that Brownlow knows from the Tenants Association.
Third floor.
Isn't there a lift?
It's broken.
Surprise, surprise. Pressure group, you know, we're responding. Whoever came before us didn't exactly cover themselves in glory.
But just because Brownlow wants to smarm up to him doesn't mean we have to as well. I don't like him.
Well, I suppose nobody's at their best and they've just been burgled, especially for the third time in a week. Ah! Oh!
You all right?
Yes, go and get them!
I told you this would happen. I've done it again. I knew it. I knew it.
Oh, no. Sierra Oscar from 643, receiving, over.
Is this it, Velma?
Okay. We'll go in.
Is your information specific to this place?
No, but the operation fits. It's just the kind of place that might utilize stolen car parts.
Seems very unlikely to me.
We've done our research.
Of course you have.
What, in the other pages?
Shall we go in, Velma?
Look, they're going to have to move an awful lot of rough German cars to need the spares that you're talking about.
He might be a source here.
I think what Sergeant Cryer means
Even
is
if
that...
there was only a small amount to be recovered from this man. Even if he was only a secondary source. A crime's a crime. Besides, might give us some leverage if we come up with something.
Exactly. In giant footsteps. Today, stolen Mercedes diesel engines.
It's more a regicide when you have to go in without me.
Why?
We've met, me and this Black Morrison.
Speak any German?
Why? You offering to teach me?
I'd better not be your German wife, then. You'll just tell him we're strictly business partners. You're the English end.
You're the sharp then.
Yes?
We'd like to see Mr. Morrison.
Mr. Morrison's with a client.
We'll wait.
Well, it'll be a long time.
We're from Holland. We've come a long way.
All right, I'll call him. But you'll still have to wait.
Any news about Turnham?
He'll live, sir. They're pumping the Regent's Canal out of him now.
He's supposed to be playing divisional hockey on Thursday. Is Christine Fraser still out on that sudden death, Tom?
Yes, sir.
Still no detectives available?
No, they're all tied up in Operation Shopfront, sir.
I want this bloke. You know about the Chief Super's special interest, don't you?
They're on the Tenants Committee together.
Yeah. Well, it won't look very good if you can't even stop somebody like Cobb being burgled. Right. I want Ackland to tour all the car workshops, scrap yards, all that sort of thing. She might just spot him.
Yes, sir.
Who you got available to go with her?
Only Hollis at the moment, sir.
Hollis. I want somebody fit, smart, intelligent, able to be somewhat diplomatic, and if necessary, able to arrest this mechanic character who belted Turnham. Sound like Hollis?
He didn't belt him, sir. Turnham said he fell in the water. Probably his gigantic brain overbalanced him. Sue, call up the area car, will you? Get them to give Hollis a lift to the Rosemont estate.
Made you a detective, have they?
Hello, Mr. Morrison.
My secretary's in there pouring coffee down the throats of those two jokers.
Sir,
The lights are on, but there's no one at home, eh? Or your mate and the bird with the dodgy crowd accent in there without your knowledge? Perhaps they walked here.
Mr. Morrison, I don't...
It's insulting, that's what it is. They wonder whether I could supply them with second-hand car parts for export to Africa. They don't have to worry too much about the source, if you know what I mean, Mr. Morrison. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. I'm wondering whether I shouldn't phone my MP.
I see you've met.
Met?
Alec Peters found Mr. Morrison's father in Oak Street car park. You remember when he'd had the heart attack?
Oh, right. Him who lost the money. How is he?
He died the next day. As you'd know if you even bothered to read your local paper. I'm going to talk to my legal advisors about you lot. This constitutes harassment. You've lost me a car sale for a start.
Bob, would you mind dropping me back to the station for an hour or two?
Okay.
Then do Miss Crancy's next inquiry and buy her lunch.
I don't want lunch. We've only just started.
Courtesy of the Commissioner.
Oh, kind.
But only her, not you. You've got to buy your own. And Conway wants a receipt.
The trouble with really greasy fingerprints, like a mechanic's, is that they're always smudged. Bingo. Now all we need is the hand that left it.
Yeah, well, Reg is going to help us out on this one, aren't you, Reg?
Reg is supposed to be having his refreshment break now. I'd give you some tea, but all my cups are broken. Nah, that's all right, mate. We'll go down a cap on the corner.
We'll go to the Panda car, Reg. You're going to be all right here.
Yes. I want to do the kitchen too. Then, if Mr. Cobb will come down to the station, we'll take his prints.
Me? Give my fingerprints to the mine police? Not a chance. What do you do with them?
Hang them round our neck and use them as lucky charms.
Cup of tea?
Scrapyards, mechanical workshops, garages. I can put a face to him, and that fingerprint will put him in the nick. Bang to rights, no question.
Cup of tea?
Grease.
Michael, you still here?
It would seem so, Gov.
Well, I suggest you go home and get some kip. I don't want you falling asleep over that oboe camera tonight.
Fair enough.
And while you're here, do you know a geezer called Morrison? Mouthy git. Deals good quality second-hand cars. High-class operation. One rung down from a franchised dealer.
Accused Alec Peters of nicking his father's money.
That's the fella. Do you reckon he could be a thief?
If you want an opinion, no. I mean, he's bad news. He's noisy and full of solicitors and complaints. But no, I don't think so.
Well, cop this. He's got no criminal record. Nothing known on collators here. He's got a decent-sized business. Fits what you know?
It fits.
So how come his secretary's got a form? I nicked her a few years back when I was a DS. I recognised her.
Did she recognise you?
Hello. Can I have DS Bishop, please, Fire Squad? You ever known a prostitute who could remember men's faces?
Come in. Hello, Frank.
Excuse me, sir. I'd like a warrant to search Morrison's showrooms. I think he might be the boy the Germans are after.
What, Albert Morrison? Bottom of Hawk Street? Well, he's as straight as they come. Rude, but straight.
Yeah, well, he may well be, sir, but the people who work for him aren't.
Oh, we've had problems with Mr. Morrison. He's had us before the police complaints board for not dealing with his father's possessions properly. Alec Peters is still waiting for a result.
Yeah, well, I'll need the warrant sharpish. He knows we're ferreting around.
What's the story?
We went there with a German officer, Krantz. Morrison was very aggressive. Tumbled us straight away.
Why do the Germans suspect him?
I don't know. But I do know his secretary. She used to be on the game.
Perhaps she's rehabilitated.
Well, that would be very recent, sir, according to a friend of mine on the Vice Squad. And she's got a brother working there, and the brother's got a form for ringing motors. Expensive ones, like the ones Morrison sells. Could be they're just using Morrison.
OK, Frank, get a party together. I'll see about a warrant. But treat him carefully. And if those two have been using him, be ultra careful. I don't want this office papered with letters from the police complaints board.
Sarah Oscar, this is 9-2. You receiving?
Welcome back, 9-2. Got a message for you.
Go ahead.
Call the DI on the landline. And yours?
It doesn't matter now. I'll call him.
He sounds like a man who's lost a pound and found a tenner.
Penny is the expression.
I was being tactful.
He doesn't like playing detectives, and he doesn't like looking after this German woman. He thinks the higher-ups are having him on.
They are. That's why they're the higher-ups. Who's Burnside going to raid?
The way Conway's behaving about providing heavies, you'd think it was a load of tooled-up bank robbers. Hawk Street Motors. Your friend Morrison. I was being tactful. They've put the finger on his outfit for handling those stolen German motor parts. Now Conway wants Burnside to use the TSG.
Good. I hope he puts up a struggle and they give him a right old pounding.
What are you two up to?
We're looking for the bloke who slung Turnham in the canal. Apparently he's a mechanic or something like that. Young guy, green overalls. He was burgling a man called Nigel Cobb's flat and Turnham was chasing him.
Oh, I know Cobb. Yeah, very political character. Lives on the Rosemount estate. All mouth and trousers. Remember, he gave us all that jip after that drugs raid?
Yeah, that's the one. Who's the woman?
Just a friend. See, you've drawn the short straw too.
We're just going in. It's
Frank, I'm going out for a few minutes. I'm taking a radio if you want me. Have you spoken to Bob?
Talk of the devil.
Well, I don't need to tell you to wait until TSG's there, right? Bob, you know who Nigel Cobb is, don't you?
This is Officer Krantz, sir.
Derek Conway, Chief Inspector, pleased to meet you. Everything all right?
Yeah, Ackland told me he was here.
Well, we don't need the TSG Sergeant, DI Burnside, and you to go down to Morrison, so can you drop Miss Krantz off in CID and then drive him up?
It's only a couple of minutes walk round the Rosemount estate.
Well, the Chief Superintendent has specially asked us to be nice to him, so just take him there and settle him back in, will you?
Yes, sir.
Cheers, mate. Right, let's go and look at that showroom.
But you won't find nothing now.
Come on.
Just let me finish me cake.
Right, Mr. Cobb. You right here, then?
Yeah. No. They've driven me out. I've got a stick of furniture. I'm going to leave.
Why? There's no need for that.
In plain terms, they've all got me down as some kind of middle-class git. It's come among them, doling out a lot of crackpot political theories, whatever. I'm not one of them, and that is enough to make them hate me. That's why they keep wrecking my flat.
Oh, I'm sure that's not true.
And do you know what's worst of all? What's worst of all is knowing that the ones that are doing this to me know me, see me, laugh at me behind my back, and then go up there and Slash on my whole carpet.
He might be a mechanic. He was wearing green overalls, quite tall, longish brown hair, curly. Does that ring any bells with you?
No, I don't think so.
Look, we need to interview him urgently. If he's shipping here, maybe
I thought I told you clowns to push off.
Oi!
I think you're overstating it, Mr. Cobb. It's probably only a minority.
And I'm sure I'm not.
It's just one or two people. You're looking at it the wrong way round. Nearly everyone isn't a mugger. Nearly everyone doesn't nick cars. And nearly everyone doesn't commit burglary. You just got to find out the ones that are. Have you ever seen this man before, Mr. Cobb? Eh?
What the hell's going on?
What do you think?
We were on inquiries and he belted Roach for some reason.
No. I'll have to make a report now and see whether to carry on this inquiry. Well, looks like I have to stay for a couple of days. I'll give you the number of my hotel, Frank.
CID Dashwood. No, I haven't got the faintest idea where he is. Sorry. Bye.
Hi. Yeah, look, can I book a table for this evening, please? Yeah, for 2. About 8. Smashing. Yeah, and listen, can I have that table at the back in the corner? Lovely. Yeah. Burnside. Thanks a lot. All right. I thought I told you to go home. You've been here half the night.
That's very considerate of you, Gov.
Sensible. Your spelling's going up the spout.
Blonde, is she?
Hope so.
Nothing. They found nothing.
Clean as a whistle.
What about the secretary and her brother?
Well, they both do have forms, sir, but nothing to tie them in with the stolen diesels.
Morrison?
He's downstairs, sir.
I better go and have a word with him.
He's been arrested, sir.
Arrested? What for?
Assault on a police officer.
Albert Morrison? We still haven't cleared up the mess about his complaint against Peters. They got no sense at all down there? Whom did he assault?
Hollis.
Oh, understandable. What happened?
Well, as far as I can gather, Hollis and Ackland's investigation into Mr. Cobb's burglaries coincided with Burnside and Krantz searching for stolen car parts. Mr. Morrison felt it was a bit of an overkill.
Well, he has my sympathy. Where's Frank?
He's on his way up now.
Well, I suggest somebody has a word with Hollis and explains to him the advantages of dropping the matter. I assume he's not badly hurt.
Nothing serious.
Yes? Come in, Frank. Well, I think we should get Bob Cry to have a word with Hollis. He can hit him too, if necessary. I don't want Morrison charged. If this rigmarole comes out in court, our officers are going to look even more stupid than they do already. What do you think, Frank?
Storm in a teacup, sir.
Yes, I agree. It's been a great waste of time and effort.
Well, Bob did get one of poor Mr. Cobb's burglars.
Well, I suppose that's some small consolation. Yes?
Urgent fax for you, sir.
Oh, thank you. From Germany. Investigation into stolen diesel engines moved to Rotterdam. Officer Krantz recalled. Thanks for help.
And danke schön to you.
Yes?
You want me, sir?
Oh, yes, Terry. Come and take a view. Just choosing a card for Christine Fraser's farewell.
Oh, yes, sir.
What do you think of that one? Police Horse Benevolent Fund.
Very fine-looking stallion, sir.
Stallion, is it?
Very plainly, sir.
You think a mare would be more appropriate?
Well, it depends what you're trying to say, sir.
Taff, me old mate, there you are.
Yeah?
Just wanted to ask you something between ourselves before you go, like.
What is it, Ken?
Short sleeve shirts.
How many?
What's the going rate?
145.
Right, I'll have them both off you then. See you later then, Taff.
Yeah. You any business here, Melvin?
On my way out, Sarge, just having a quick word with my old mate Taff.
Quiet so far?
Deadly.
Good. A moment. If by any unfortunate incident we do get any punters in while you're still here, for pity's sake, do not upset them, offend them, or abuse them. And under no circumstances lay hands on them. And run like hell if they try and hit you.
I'm not going to screw up my transfer by getting into trouble on my last day.
No, I suppose I can trust you on that score. I mean, you have done your best to stay out of harm's way all the time you've been here.
So, you're getting all this time off to write a book.
A thesis, Frank.
All right, a book without pictures. What's it in aid of again?
The topic is a comparative study of women's career patterns in the police force and private industry and commerce.
You'll get bored. I got bored while you were telling me the title.
As a matter of fact, I'm looking forward to spending time in an academic environment with people who can offer me some intellectual stimulation.
Puffs.
Don't show your ignorance, Frank.
You're gonna miss the adrenaline.
There's a lot of things I won't miss, I tell you that.
Didn't have to be like this, Chrissy.
What's that supposed to mean?
You and me could have been a team. Together we could run rings round the pillocks in this nick.
I know this is well meant, but you really haven't grasped the first principle, have you?
What's that?
I'm only interested in making it on my own terms, in my own right.
Yeah. 1,000 glass teddy bears' eyeballs? All right, yeah. 1,000 teddy bears' glass eyeballs. Yeah, OK, Jim, I'll check it out. Yeah, bye. Hey, you go.
No, don't involve me with anything. I've got a function to attend this afternoon.
Oh, yeah, what, Fraser's leaving, dude?
Yeah, dry white wine and dead things on toast.
Here, go. Is it true Fraser's writing a book?
Thesis, you dickhead.
About all of us?
Yeah, that's the general idea. How we handle women. Usual old misery. I don't know what they expect if they go around wearing black stockings.
Tights these days.
Not always, Tosh. Not always.
Hello, chappie, me old china plate.
Not now, Roach. I've got to see Brownlow.
That won't take a minute.
Look, if it's about the kitty for the bar, I know some lads put more in for their leaving dues, but a lot of them are better placed than I am financially.
No. I don't want to talk to you about that. I want to talk to you about long-sleeve shirts. How are you placed, eh?
Yes? Ah. Edwards. Come in, take a seat.
Thank you, sir.
You're just gearing up for Inspector Fraser's leaving party.
Yes, I realise that, sir.
Bet you'll be raising hell with the lads over the King's Arms, eh?
Freemason's arms, sir.
Yes, of course, I know. Well, Edwards, or Taffy, as you prefer to be called.
Well, as a matter of fact, sir...
Yes, Taffy.
As a matter of fact, I prefer to be called Francis. I get called Taffy here on account of being Welsh. Well, it's a bit ironical, really, isn't it? Spent all that time attending, being taught not to treat people like stereotypes. Then I found out I was one. It's a minor point, of course.
1,000 teddy bears' eyeballs. Are they definitely bent? Well, we're doing Ronnie Fletcher for dishonest handling of the fags and the scotch. Now, he says he wants the eyeballs taken into consideration, but he claims he doesn't know who the legitimate owner was. He was just fencing them. I did a check after you phoned, and nobody's reported him nicked. It's a bit funny, isn't it?
Hello, Jim. Tosh.
Hello, Mum. Hello, Mum. You all packed up and ready to go?
Some hopes, the things that turn up when you clear out your desk.
Here, I'll tell you something funny. Do you know she's going off to write a book? Something like that. You know what about? Sociology, something clever. No. Sexual harassment in the police force. You're winding me up. That's kosher. Burnside told me. What, naming names and everything? You'll have to wait until it's serialised in the news of the screws to find that out. I mean.
Well, Francis, I'm glad we've had the opportunity of this informal little chinwag. I'm only sorry that we can't chat a lot longer, but duty calls for both of us as ever. It only remains for me to express our heartfelt thanks for your contribution to the work here at Sunhill. I'm sure that your training and experience as a Metropolitan Police officer will stand you in good stead in Cardiff.
I'm not going...
And I'd like to wish you and Megan,
Mary.
Mrs. Edwards, every happiness in the future.
Thank you very much, Mr. Brownlow.
Oh, and thank you for your dedicated and sportsmanlike captaincy of the badminton team. Even if we didn't manage to bring home any trophies this year.
The thing is, as teddy bear's eyeballs go, these are a bit small.
Not for what I've got in mind if you haven't shifted that lot from the office by the end of the day. I'll keep this one for forensic purposes. Tell you what I'd do if I was investigating this.
What's that then?
I'll go down to the woods and look for a notice in Braille saying this way to the picnic.
Here we are. Funny, until these forms turned up from area, I thought you'd already gone. Right, now these forms have to be filled in by you. And you'll do that here at the station today, because I don't want you trailing over
Yes,
to area.
Sergeant Cryer explained.
Good. Now, these forms are very helpful to the police service in formulating and monitoring their policies and procedures, particularly as regards personnel. You're being asked your reasons for leaving the Metropolitan Police.
I've said all that already.
Don't interrupt me when I'm trying to tell you something. You have to put them on the forms. You have to say if you're dissatisfied with the service. You record any suggestions you have for improvements, any criticisms of senior management, any comments such as matters of manpower levels and morale in the service, etc., etc.
Thank you, sir.
Obviously, the whole point of an exercise like this is lost if your responses aren't full and completely frank.
Yes, I can see that, sir.
Good. By the way, you're to speak to Sergeant Cryer before you fill in the forms.
And then she's going to take her clothes off, kiss him, and make him dance about with his hands on her... Right, Numa?
Mum?
On her crystal.
But in this day and age...
Yeah.
Should be all right in here for a bit.
What is he, the store's liaison officer?
He'll be all right. He's having a cup of tea. When you talk to him later. I want to make sure these forms are done right.
Look, Mr. Conway's already briefed me. I've got to put down all my complaints and criticisms, and he said I've got to be completely full and frank, otherwise there's no point.
What I'd say is what Sergeant Personnel would say if you were doing this over at area office. And he'd say, don't criticise.
But
I'm telling you something. He'd say, don't burn bridges. You never know in this life. Wales might not suit you after all. The sheep might bite you, or the sons of Glendower might decide you're a traitor and set light to your house.
I do know what I'm doing.
However you feel now, you might want to come back. And if you slag off the Metropolitan Police in writing, you'll never darken our door again, and that's a promise. Now, I've got to go and look in on Inspector Fraser's knees up. But there's one more thing I'd like to say now. We've had our ups and downs, Taff. I've had to speak strongly to you on one or two occasions.
Yeah, well, it's all part of the job, eh?
That was intended for your benefit and for the benefit of the job. However, if the air's clear between us, I'd like to wish you all the best of luck in Wells.
Thanks, Sergeant.
Oh, I nearly forgot. Have you got any lined gloves?
So we got them to put in an RSJ, and now we've got French doors leading through to the patio.
God bless our Scannell.
Yeah, well, we had a conservatory on 2 or 3 years ago, but it doesn't sound as elaborate as yours.
What's that? That's the story going round the station, sir. I thought you ought to know.
I don't believe a word of it. Absolute rubbish. Hello, Frank. Come in.
Great.
No chance of this getting out of hand, I suppose.
Help yourself to a glass of Chablis, Frank.
You know we've had a lot of attitude from her about this whole business. She may be harbouring a grudge.
Well, you're the one with a down on her, aren't you, Derek? Hmm? Hello, Tom. Come in. Tom, I know you're a bit of a connoisseur. Tell me what you think of the Chablis.
Is it from your usual source, sir?
Yes, it is indeed.
Right.
You didn't support a promotion, did you?
I could hardly do that after your adverse comments, now could I?
Well, I hope she doesn't take this occasion as an opportunity to vent her feelings.
Oh, she wouldn't do that, would she? Bob, come in.
Hope I'm not late, sir.
No, not at all.
Just been putting Edwards straight.
Ah, yes, Edwards, yes. Sad loss to the badminton team. Ah, the guest of honour. Come in, Christine.
Very kind of you to go to all this trouble, sir.
Not at all. Goodness gracious. Small time.
It ain't working.
Well, it ain't plugged in, is it?
I'd see you haven't bothered with a party front.
Well, after the last time.
Oh, this ain't gonna be like that.
I don't see anything funny about ice cubes. Not down your cleavage when you're trying to do a job. I just don't see the joke.
Where is he then? Oh, he's still getting sorted out, I expect. Has he handed over his dosh? Yes, behind the bar.
It's all right then. Light the lager, please, love.
Oh, better make that too, darling. I was just explaining to the young lady.
You better watch him.
Oh, he's well known.
On no account agree to handle his helmet.
I was just explaining to the young lady about how this do ain't going to get out of order on account of the fact that our guest of honour is not a wild man or a maniac. Yeah, you can say that again.
It's a short streak of Welsh misery, as a matter of fact. Still have a drink off him.
The thing is, Frank, you're a lecherous, conniving bastard with a vicious streak, but at least I know where I stand with you.
You know, that's the nicest thing you've ever said to me, Chrissy.
But Brownlow, for instance, he sent me this card, and do you know what it was? The picture was of this bloody great horse, and it was called a bay gelding. Well, what does that say about his attitude to me?
Well, you definitely left your mark on him, Chrissy.
I hope she's not getting drunk.
Don't worry, Derek. In my speech, I'll try to diffuse any tension with the injection of a little humour.
I'm just going to drink.
I think it'll be another woman.
Equal opportunities.
Probably a one-legged black lesbian single parent then. God, blimey.
I like it.
You've got red.
Oh, yeah.
It's the Chablis.
Where's?
Miss. Oi, Reg. You're the chief redcoat. When are we going to get some decent music?
Well, we haven't officially started the proceedings yet. I mean, there's no show without punch, is there? Oh, stuff it.
You only like bread of heaven.
Yeah, come on, let's have some music.
Right.
Go on, Tony.
There, mate. Got any Iron Maiden?
Oh, are you serious, Tony? We don't music.
Of course, there are still some dinosaurs in the police, but there are more and more officers with real sophistication and sensitivity.
Miss.
This is Sergeant Cryer.
I'll put it with his Corris. I thought you'd gone.
In my opinion, this whole story sounds ridiculous, and I don't think we should be giving idle gossip any further currency.
My feelings entirely.
But for what it's worth, I'll say this. Any male officer who molests a female officer ought to be out on his ear before he's buttoned his trousers, and good riddance to bad rubbish.
Hear what you say, Andrew. Ready for another mineral water?
So your thesis is mainly sociological?
With a strong input from organisational theory and social psychology, of course.
Of course. My nephew's doing a thesis in Manchester.
Really?
Polymer sciences, long-chain molecules. Have you tried one of these?
Thank you, sir. I really must circulate.
You've even got a disco in Charlie Brownlow's office and Fraser's do.
I don't give a monkey's what they've got. I've said my farewells.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, maybe a bit later when the drinking's slowed down. I'd like to see you on the dance floor. I bet you move beautifully.
When you're ready. Pint of lager in there, please, sir. I have been waiting.
There'll never be another one like it.
They vote the mould.
Bit of a devil, eh?
I've seen him throw down 11 pints of Luby juice, 3 double vodkas, and then circumnavigate a room the size of this without touching the floor.
Epic. Come on.
Gospel. And as for the women,
yeah,
I've seen him crook his little finger and wink and pull the tastiest bird in the room. Nobody.
This town ain't big enough for...
What, Taff? No, you prat, not Taff. Trevor Fawcett. You remember Trev?
Oh, yeah, Fingers Fawcett. Oh, yeah, he was a business, he was. Funny, he was only a little geezer. He wasn't good looking, neither.
He was better looking than you.
Have a drink with us, sweetheart. Never let it be said that Tony Stamp discriminates against women.
Take your hands off my bum, Tony.
The past few years have seen the role of the police in contemporary society undergoing agonising reappraisal and rapid change. In that process, we must all feel there's been losses and gains. But one of the clear gains has been the increasing contribution of women in the field of police work. Not so long ago, when it was put to a very distinguished police officer that the number of WPCs should be increased, he replied in a light-hearted vein, "Is recruiting so bad that we now have to breed our own, as we attempted to do with dogs and horses?" A whimsical notion entirely dispelled by the sterling service that women officers have rendered in every field of police work. Their commitment and enthusiasm is typified by our friend and colleague, Christine Fraser.
Oh, seriously, Viv, I've always admired you. You're an independent woman in your own right. Dead on.
You'd never make a living at this.
Now, come on, Viv. You're not a teaser. I know that. How about it?
No. Now, can we drop the subject and just stay on good terms?
It only take a minute.
But what am I going to do if Taff ain't here when the stripper grand comes? She might refuse to perform. Then what am I going to do, eh? Come on, all right,
Someone once said to me that leaving parties were very curious occasions. Your senior officers say such kind and encouraging things about you. If they'd only said them earlier, you wouldn't have wanted to leave. However, that's a very cynical view and one that I certainly couldn't support from my experience at Sunhill. It's been an education for me, in more ways than one, and I'm deeply grateful.
You still here?
On my way.
I've got to get back to it, Bob.
Well, I'm glad we've had a chance to have a chat, Mr. Munro.
I think we understand each other. I'm sure there are no problems we can't knock on the head.
Sir. Well, well.
Hey, Bob, come here. You had a lot to say to Andy Munro, didn't you?
And you're going to have a lot to say to him and all. He's our new governor.
Is he?
Struth. I didn't know when we were well off. He's Fraser had mix.
Nah, Munro suits me. He's rock hard, he's dead straight. My idea of a copper. He'll do our relief a lot of good.
Oh, I'm glad you're pleased.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thanks very much, sir. Cheers.
Goodbye, sir. Thank you. Bye-bye.
So, you didn't tell him what you thought of him?
How do you know what I think?
Keep in touch, Chrissy.
I'll try and let you know when I'm settled. Hello, Taff. I thought you'd gone.
Not quite, no.
You've been keeping out of trouble on your last day.
Well, that remains to be seen. You?
Oh, yes, I've been very well behaved.
Are you going to come for a drink, Mum?
Well, I'll try and look in, but there's a lot to sort out.
Yes, of course. Well, all the best.
Good luck.
And you.
Well, if the Welsh Constabulary had consulted me about giving Edwards a berth, I'd have told them.
Yeah, give him a wide one.
I talked to the trading standards people. It's kosher. Illegal teddy bears eyeballs, that's why they haven't been reported. If somebody's putting them on soft toys and selling them, they're breaking the law. They're small enough for some toddler to swallow.
rights. I'm his representative.
Mr. Edwards, your car is illegally parked and I'm going to have to leave it.
It's a fair cop. Boom, boom.
It's very hot in here. I think I'll take my clothes off.
I thought you'd gone.
Not quite.
I missed the start of Taft's party. Got tied up in paperwork.
Well, has it started? I only just ran in the corridor.
Really? We'd better get his skates on. He'll be well into it by now.
All boys together.
Huh?
No, it doesn't matter. You found a way to survive, haven't you, June?
I don't think I'm with you, Mum.
Well, you haven't let them put you down. They haven't stuck one of their labels on you, like the relief bicycle or the ball breaker or the ball dyke. And you haven't quit.
Oh, and neither of you. You're taking time off to do a thesis. You'll be coming back to the job.
Oh, I don't know about that, June. I really don't know. Maybe this is their world. Maybe they're welcome to it.
Oh, well, you must do what's best for you.
I'm working on it.
Look, why don't you come to Taft's do? Have a drink. It'd be appreciated, honestly.
Yeah, why not?
No, another double booking. I just done the gig, love. You had to go on the agency about this.
.227 from Sierra Oscar.
Dracula's risen from his grave.
Do you in about 15 minutes, Tony, all right?
No problem. Is it, Sarge?
You doing him?
Yeah.
I thought you had just civilians and off-duty officers.
Well, we had to fill in with non-operationals off the relief. Make up the numbers.
227, are you receiving? Is that girl just ignoring me? Are you doing her as well?
Yeah.
But not till later. It's my first time.
Good idea you giving some. That way we'll have it to hand when one of yours comes in.
What am I what?
One of your, you know, ethnics.
You've got the same blood as you, moron. When I cut myself, it's not mango chutney that comes out.
Were you trying to get hold of him?
That's right.
Yeah, but she's just having a lie down.
Doing what?
Well, she's giving blood, isn't she? Got to take it easy.
You said non-operationals. I can't have a load of one-armed bandits on the streets.
I know, but Viv was dead keen to do it, and I had a window in my schedule.
Don't worry about it, Sarge. You can lose buckets of claret and still function. Remember a rugby match where the opposing prop's ear was more or less hanging off? Had blood all down his shirt. Played a blinder, though.
Well, you go and get her. Martella, Sleeping Beauty, go and get her here.
Yeah, all right.
OK, Phil.
Sierra Oscar 85 from Sierra Oscar.
Sierra Oscar 85 receiving.
I've got your
I shouldn't be here
PMC
at
check,
all.
Tim. The vehicle's
Not by
registered to a
rights.
James Anthony Doyle.
What's the matter?
It's Alec Peters, Viv. He's doing little pieces in the academy. Couldn't contact him.
I want your blood and your body in this job.
Yeah, well, you better have a word with him.
Oh, yeah, Reg.
All right, Ken. Will do.
Personnel management in the public sector. Would have been off the whole of this week. Residential course. Developing my person-to-person skills. Expenses, licence bar. Cross-fertilisation.
You'd be lucky.
Well, a week out of this place anyway. Still to get dragged back in here.
You wanted to see me, Sarge?
Luckily it wasn't desperate. You're supposed to be out on a panda, not having a kip.
It wasn't my idea. They said I needed to lie down. All this taking blood, do they know what they're doing? It's nothing, honestly. You won't even know it's happening.
Would you mind watching what you're doing? Look, if you're sick, go sick. If you're on duty, be on duty. I've had enough of this.
I'm feeling perfectly fit now, thank you for your concern, Sergeant. So I won't waste any more time here chatting. I'll get out on patrol.
Right.
Person-to-person skills. What do they actually do?
You don't want to know.
I don't want it to come as a shock.
Well, there's this great big thing, like a petrol pump, only in reverse. So it's sucking gallons and gallons out of you. Ignoring. It all comes up on a digital display, so you don't know what it means. Sierra Oscar 5, we are receiving. Go on, Jim.
We're on the Beckett's Wood Industrial Estate. If we go any further, the engine's going to blow up. Could we have assistance?
What's the nature of your problem?
There's black soot coming out the exhaust, there's a horrible grinding noise, and it won't go. Hey? Well, Ted Roach says it's the big end. I think it's the rings. Come on, Tony. Get us out of here.
The AA will be informed. Remain with your vehicle. Do not panic, and do not accept lifts off of strange men.
Never buy a second-hand police car. Do you know the AA reckon we get the value of our subscription back in the first 3 months? Oh, I know.
Good evening, this is Metropolitan Police, Sunhill Station. We've had a breakdown.
Marika, send Viv to assist. Probably doesn't need the area car tied up there.
Located
Right,
at
Sarge.
Beckett's Wood Industrial
Sierra Oscar
Estate.
86 from Sierra Oscar.
86 receiving.
Hello, Viv. MP's had an Emma call about a robbery at an off-licence, corner of Market Street and Sheridan Lane.
Yes, that's right.
3
It's
suspects,
Cavalier.
no
The
longer
engine
on
seized up,
premises,
apparently.
male. 2 IC1s, 1 IC3. One said to be armed with a knife. Area car's been assigned. Will you assist?
You'll be with the vehicle within the hour. Right, thank you.
Yeah, all right, I'll go and get a stamp. All right.
Now look, Mrs. Kellett, let's get this straight. Yeah, but how do you mean these lads look suspicious?
Suspect their eyes are too close together. Oh, now what?
I want him, Tony.
Well, you can't have him when he's in the middle of a phone call, can you, you great prawns?
Yeah, but I've had to rejig my scheduling.
No, you can't do me yet. I'm not till later.
One of them was carrying a knife. Right, Mrs. Kellett, we'll have someone with you very shortly. It was a cat up a tree. She would have dialed 3 9s. She sees 3 youths, one with a knife, and she looked us up in the phone book.
Where's this?
Market Estate.
Here, Tony, shush. That's just across the road, isn't it?
The off-licence, that was 3 males.
Area car's been reassigned. Viv's still at the off-licence. Send her to talk to the woman. It's only round the corner.
Right.
Here, Tony. Can we have you now?
Sierra
for the
Oscar 86 from Sierra
You said
Oscar.
quarter of an hour.
Yeah, but I've had to revise my programme.
86 receiving.
3 males answering the description of your suspects reported on the
The
Market
thing is, can we have
Estate
you
by
now?
Mrs.
I've got a winner,
Kellett,
Tony.
flat 34.
do
Will you
me
talk
what
to
they
the
like.
woman?
Received. On the way.
What are they doing you, Rich?
Hey?
I can't see your name down here. When are you giving blood then?
No, well, I can't.
Why, Reg?
Who says?
I just can't, that's all. I don't intend discussing it. When you're ready.
You managed for a bit, Sarge?
Mr. Brownlow wants blood. Who am I to stand in his way? Officially, I'm not here. I'm on a course with expenses.
What's wrong with your blood then, Rich?
None of your business.
Rabies, is it? You've been bothering them dogs again, have you?
I'd be pooling my skills in an interdisciplinary environment. We'd all be learning off each other. Local government, teachers, social services, nurses.
Sierra Oscar from 86.
Go ahead, Viv.
I'm at the Market Estate. 33 youths answering description. I am now leaving the estate in the direction of and am pursuing on foot.
Please restate direction of pursuit. Your signal's breaking up very badly.
Sierra Oscar from 227.
Go on, Viv.
Pursued suspects into... But I've lost them. I'm just...
Please restate location, Viv. Your signal's breaking up very badly.
Don't know the name of this block.
Restate location, Viv. We have a very poor signal.
Check the garages.
227 from Sierra Oscar, are you receiving? Sierra Oscar 227 from Sierra Oscar, are you receiving?
Sierra Oscar from Sierra Oscar 5.
Yeah, go ahead, Jim.
Now what's the word on this side? The ain't gonna get out to us or what?
Look, have a bit of patience for pity's sake. It's the usual drill. They said within the hour, and there's nothing we can do about it.
It's not me. I've got Ted jumping up and down.
Tell him there's alcohol in the antifreeze if he gets desperate.
227 from Sierra Oscar, are you receiving?
I don't think that's particularly funny.
Off the air, please, Ted. We'll get back to you. Sierra Oscar 227 from Sierra Oscar. Are you receiving? Stop prating about, Viv.
Units to Market Estate.
She chased them off the Market Estate. You better check the others as well. Sierra Oscar, units from Sierra Oscar. 227 was chasing 3 suspects, males, 2 IC1s, 1 IC3, one said to have a knife. We have now lost radio contact. Last known location was the Market Estate. Right, Sierra 1 to location, please.
Sierra 1 received.
134 from Sierra Oscar.
134 receiving.
Phil, go to the Hillary Estate.
Sierra Oscar from 134 received.
643 from Sierra Oscar.
643 receiving.
Yeah, June to the Goodwin Estate.
Received.
800 from Sierra Oscar.
800 receiving.
Yeah, Richard to the Bannister Estate, please.
On the way, Sarge.
Right, now other available units, go and join Sierra 1 at the Market Estate until reassigned.
Sierra Oscar from MP. We are monitoring your PR link. Do you require assistance?
Yes, thank you, MP. Could we have a uniform unit to assist with the search?
We will assign a uniform unit, Sierra Oscar. Any further assistance, let us know.
Narika? No, they're taping our messages at the yard. Watch your manners, eh?
Right, Sarge.
Tend to run the PRs on the blink.
Hollis! Mr. Conway. Now, you're supposed to be lying down with a cup of tea and a biscuit.
I got bored.
Well, sounds all right to me.
Yes, it would.
Still, I'm sure it means a lot to the lads, you coming in, especially when you're off duty, setting an example. The response rate has been very good.
Not 100%, though, eh?
Well,
Bumped into Stamp.
huh?
He said you're not being done.
Well, no, I'm not going to.
He's been telling everybody you've got swine fever. I told him not to mock the afflicted. So, what have you got?
It's a personal matter, Mr. Colin.
Don't come the old soldier with me, Hollis. Now, come on. Is it something the job should know about?
No, sir.
Will he get in the food?
It's nothing like that at all, sir.
But what is it then?
It's just I'm not in a position to donate blood, that's all. But there's no way it can affect the performance of my duties or the health of my fellow officers.
Well, you better be right about that. Just watch your step, Hollis. Go on.
I'm sorry, but we do have a lot to deal with tonight.
They'll just have to stack up.
Should I tell our units to get a move on?
Don't be daft. They're steaming in from all directions. They'll tell us when they've got something to say.
Can't we do
Sierra
anything?
Oscar from 134.
Go ahead, Phil.
I'm on the Hillary estate. No sign of Martella so far.
Garages?
Say again?
Viv was going to check a garage when we lost contact. Are there any garages on the Hillary estate?
You gotta be kidding. When they built this one, council house tenants with cars got their picture in the paper and an eviction order.
Right, we'll scrub the Hillary. Go and join Ackland on the Goodwin estate.
There's the Bannister estate as well as the Goodman. They've all got garages, miles of them.
It's only minutes.
She wouldn't just go quiet on us, not like this.
Give her another call.
Here, Cap. Your time's up. You can go home.
Right.
Oh, now look, you haven't touched that nice drop of tea I brought you. You've got to take in your fluids. It'll build up the blood supply.
Yeah, but...
Well, yeah, but what?
This bovine tuberculosis you've got, Reg, is it catching?
How long?
Oh, well, we lost radio contact 1939. Units are moving to the area and we're getting help with the search. The yard are monitoring our PR.
Who's in that seat?
Stamp. He's giving blood.
Brilliant. I'll run that console, shall I?
With all due respect, sir, I mean, are you up to speed on this equipment? I mean, we are being taped at the yard.
Point taken, Alec. We should be thinking about a helicopter. The longer we leave it...
Sierra Oscar from Sierra 1, receiving.
Go ahead.
I've located Sierra Oscar 86 just inside the Market Street entrance of the Market Estate. It's not in the immediate vicinity.
Hold on till further instructions.
Sierra Oscar from MP. Now you've located the vehicle, do you want a dog van assigned?
Yes, please, MP. Dogs will find her.
Sierra Oscar from 800.
Go ahead, Richard.
I'm at the Bannister Estate, Cockcroft House, Flat 7. I've got an Eileen Winters report seeing a WPC answering Viv's description on the estate a few minutes ago.
Units to Bannister Estate.
Sierra Oscar units from Sierra Oscar. Units to Bannister Estate, Cockcroft House. Now we're motoring.
Not before time. It's getting dark out there.
Indian 99 has been passed on to Litten's Hill. The helicopter can be in the
Aren't
air
you supposed to be resting?
Well, this ain't playing squash, is it?
Is that quick enough for your
Sir.
Yeah, well, as soon as they can, MP.
About Viv.
Yeah, will you take the landline calls and other incidents? Tell them we'll get back to them.
What's our strength at the Bannister Estate now?
Oh, we got the area car. Lieutenant Melvin, Garfield's just arrived. He was coming on in Pounder 85 and...
Go ahead, Richard.
...from the Goodwin Estate.
Down in the garages under Cockcroft House on the Bannister Estate.
What time was this?
I've got a knife here. Looks as if someone got rid of it in a hurry. It's between a dumped Allegro and the wall. Sheath knife, 4-inch blade. It's clean.
Sorry, could you repeat that? Yes, I was listening. It's just the line's a bit bad.
Very clean. Could have been wiped.
Yeah, well, secure the weapon, Rich, and mark the place where you found it, eh?
Well, we get someone round to you, but I can't
Well,
say...
that narrows it down a bit. We can put everything into Cockcroft House.
Well, I'm afraid that's the best we can do.
Sierra Oscar from 218. You receiving?
Go on, George.
Dozy pillock.
I've been checking out the refuse room in Bexley House, next to the lock-up garages. Only found an old dosser in there having a pony. Charming, isn't it? Anyway, he didn't know his ear rolls for breakfast time. No point in talking to him. But when I came out, I saw this blade shoved in behind one of the bins. It's a kitchen knife, 6 inches, but very highly sharpened.
Yeah, good lad. Secure it and mark the spot. Remember when we turned over the Jasmine Allen looking for a knife?
Yeah, we got 15. So we're not much further forward, are we?
Well, the dogs will do the job, won't they?
Sierra Oscar. It's Tim. It's Sierra Oscar 85.
Go on, Tim.
I'm sorry, it's bad news.
Come on, son, spit it out. You're a police officer.
Sorry, Sarge. I was in the process of turning right into the Bannister Estate. When I saw this bloody stupid dog, a Yorkshire Terrier with a bow on its head, and I swerved left. But there was this ice cream van coming through on the inside of me. I didn't know he was there. He swears he had lights on.
When you've got a police accident, you say, I've got a Polak. You do not prat around like a big fairy. Plonker.
Sierra Oscar from MP. We will call a garage sergeant in the unit to report your Polak.
Yes, thank you, MP. I mean, I'm not supposed to be here, Mr. Conway. I'm supposed to be on this course every week.
Sierra Oscar from 416.
Go ahead, Ken.
I'll just call it a kid. IC1 about 16. Point is, he had 2 mates with him. One IC1, one IC3, like the off-licence suspect. I think they were hiding out in an empty flat, ground floor Cockcroft House. They were on their toes when we came along. We lost the other 2. This one's keeping still, but he's scared, very scared.
Well, you tell him either he comes across very rapidly or he's in the bin.
Okay, I'll overdo it, Sarge.
Make sure Melvin puts the pressure on.
Ken, let him know this is serious.
We're nearly there now. Thanks ever so much for your help, Constable...
Hollis. Yeah, your mates call me Reg.
Oh, you're Reg. I hope you don't mind me saying something personal, Reg.
Oh, no, not at all. What's your name, by the way?
Dr. Seymour. The thing is, Reg, I couldn't help hearing what your friends were saying to the nurses.
Oh, my Godfather.
If you're at all worried, an STD clinic is the best way to put your mind at rest. It's completely confidential. Even your own doctor doesn't have to know. There. That's the address and the number to ring.
Sierra Oscar from Sierra Oscar 5.
Go on, Jim.
We've been listening to your PR about Viv. You know any
How
more
much
of your...
garage space is there on the Bannister?
No, Jim.
There's lots. I mean, you know it's like with
You're here
lockups,
when
nobody
anything
knows who's got a key.
Yeah.
I don't know if she actually got to the garages. I mean, that's where she said she was going, but that's all.
Yeah, all right.
off the air, Carver. And where are those bloody dogs?
416, are you receiving? Over.
416, go on, Ken.
The kid's put his hands up. He's taking us there now. There's a set of garages that aren't used. They get flooded or something. Sorry, that's where it...
416 from Sierra Oscar, we are not receiving you. 416 from Sierra Oscar.
What we got down there, a black hole or something?
416 from Sierra Oscar, are you receiving? Sierra Oscar 416 from Sierra Oscar, are you receiving?
Send in the other units.
Sierra Oscar units from Sierra Oscar. We have lost radio contact with 416. All units to disused garages on the Bannister estate.
Sierra Oscar from 218.
Yes, George.
Where are these disused garages then?
We don't know. It was where Ken was going when we lost contact. Low down, below ground maybe. Liable to flooding? Can't tell you more than that.
It's a game, innit, eh?
You okay, Sarge?
Yeah, fine. How about you then, bearing up? Tony, you fitting well?
Never better, Sarge. Couldn't use that pint of blood myself. Girlfriend's visiting her mother.
Ken! Go ahead.
At last. Looks like we've got a dead zone for radio here. I've been wondering about trying to make contact.
Let's have your report, Melvin.
Right. Well, the story is, there's this set of lock-up garages. You go down a ramp under Cockcroft House, but they don't use them because they're liable to flooding. What they keep down there is the big refuse bins. Well, the kid took us down there, and one of these big bins had been pushed over in front of the garage door.
We do not want the story of his life.
Really big on wheels.
What about Martella?
Sierra Oscar from 227.
Viv, you're not put our knickers in a twist here.
Well, what it was, I came down here to have a look at these lock-ups, and the kids jumped me. They shoved me in this garage and shut the door. And they must have tipped over a bin against it, because I couldn't shift it from the inside, and it seemed to be a dead zone for radio.
Yes, we gather that. Viv,
Yes, Sarge?
come home.
Sierra Oscar 643 from Sierra Oscar, are you receiving?
643 receiving.
I should have words to say about one or two matters in the morning.
Domestic.
Yes, sir, I thought you might.
Sierra Oscar 134 from Sierra Oscar, are you receiving?
I'll take a break, Sarge.
Phil.
Feeling a bit off.
Yeah, go on.
Been complaining about kids on skateboards in his walkway. Can you go and talk to him?
Yeah, Tony. I've got a boat to put in here.
Look at that, Rich. Feeling too clever.
Yeah, not too good. Shall I get the doctor?
Daft.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, like that. Now then, feet should be higher than the head. Oh, what was that with delivering babies?
I'm fit enough to stick one on you, Hollis.
Yeah, now take it easy, mate. That's what you get for overdoing it.
It'll be your problem, is it, Rich?
Efficiency is the economy of effort. Not a lot of people know that. Matter of fact, Tony.
What?
Well, that's why I can't get done. Well, same thing happened when I tried it. Only it was worse. I collapsed totally. It's not a medical problem, nothing like that. I mean, no, I'm safe giving blood, but...
You've lost your bottle, so to speak.
Yeah, that's about it. Only I don't like talking about it. That's one of the problems of the job, isn't it? We don't like losing our macro image.
I suppose not, Rich.
Never be afraid to ask for help, Tom. It'll always be entirely confidential.
Hollis! You saucy git!
Look, are you sure you're all right?
I keep telling everyone I'm fine. I mean, I wasn't hurt. Just pushed and shoved a bit when I wasn't ready for it.
Look, I shouldn't be here, you know. I should be off studying personnel management.
You don't manage people badly.
More precise about the description, could you?
Sierra Oscar from 181 receiving. Sarge, can you tell? Oh, forget it. They're here. I just tried to stop you. It's about an hour old. He's well gone.
What's the strength thing?
Well, some fella's been seen talking to the kids during their breaks. Sounds like a bit of a nutter.
Any description?
Well, not really. The old dear can't see very well. 25 to 30, medium height. That's about it.
Oh, great. Should have no problems finding him. Not a lot of people like that around. She seen him before, then?
Well, she reckons she's seen him 2 or 3 times in the last couple of weeks.
I hope you didn't mind. Now, it sounds a bit silly, but you hear such funny things these days.
Not at all, madam.
All right, look, we'll have a run round later when the kids turn out, all right? Be seeing you, all right?
Right.
Take care.
Thanks for the information, mate. Yeah, I doubt if there's much in it. I suppose we'd better go and have a word in the school. Somebody might have seen something.
Tomorrow,
All right, kids, all right?
What can I do for you?
Well, we've had a report of a man hanging about outside the school gates. We just wondered if...
You were wondering if what?
Well, we'd just like to try and find out if anyone else might have seen him. He's supposed to have been seen quite a few times in the last week or so.
Do you think he's somewhere in the school?
Well, no. From what we can make out, he stands by the gates talking to the kids during their break time.
Perhaps we could have a word with the caretaker, or if there was someone on playground duty who might have seen something.
Well, I'll ask the staff and some of the older children, but I'd really rather not have you wandering around the school. It causes all sorts of problems. Now, if you'll go back to the station, I'll phone later. Sun Hill, isn't it? Good afternoon.
Well, yeah, thank you very much.
Jim, word.
Sarge.
Second visits, amongst other things.
I know what you're going to say,
Look,
but...
Jim, don't tell me you're overworked. I'm overworked, we all are. Your paperwork is getting to be like...
Getting to be what?
All I'm telling you is get your priorities sorted out.
Oh, I see. I don't suppose it matters if we nick anyone anymore, just as long as the books are neat and tidy.
All I'm saying is get these second visits done. There's at least a dozen jobs well over a month old, and nobody's been near the loser since the day they were reported.
Oh, come off it, Sarge. You know as well as I do. Second visits are a waste of time. PR jobs.
Then start doing some PR work. If you drop in it, I drop in.
Yes, of course, madam. Well, they obviously thought... No, no, of course not. Yes, of course. I'll make certain they do. Yes. Yes, good afternoon. Garfield and Datter have been tramping around Jeremy Holt's school this afternoon. That was that headmistress.
A touchy lady.
She wants them back down there again now. One of the kids has come up with some information.
Just what is it with him? Ted Roach and Frank Burnside spent half their lives cutting corners. And then Greg gives me grief just because I don't dot a few I's or cross a few T's.
Not to worry, Jim. It can only get worse.
Oh, not a lot. This'll take me well into this evening. I'll spend half the night looking for people who've either gone to the pictures or are in the pub and who wouldn't want to see me anyway.
How often does he come round?
Not very often.
But often enough that you recognise him?
Yes.
So what does he do?
He just hangs around.
Talks to the kids?
Yeah.
If any teachers come past, does he go away?
Yeah.
Is that all he does?
Yeah.
And you'd know him if you saw him again?
Yeah.
Well, right. Thanks, Tasha. You've been very helpful. Thank you.
See, if you just let me inquire into things in the proper way, it's so much better all round.
I know where he lives, that man. I know where he lives.
OK, well, that might not necessarily be a problem. We got Reg. It's a missing person, Sarge. Young boy. This is a mother, Mrs. Wilkins. This is Sergeant Crane.
What's his name?
Tony.
Right. His dad couldn't have picked him up.
He better not have. He cleared off 3 years ago.
What about friends? Couldn't he go home with one of them?
No, I've seen Gary, that's his best friend, and he hasn't seen him since school. And he was supposed to go to football tonight, and I can't see him missing that.
Right, I'll tell you what to do. You go home and make sure there's someone in case he does come back, and we'll make some inquiries. But don't worry about it. They normally come home as soon as they're hungry. And is this yours?
Yeah.
If you could write down any address you might have for the father there, yeah? Thanks, love. Reggie. Do the usual. You better check out the dead in case he's run off to see him and around the hospitals, all right? You know where I am if you need me. Sorry.
Kid reckoned it was the front room. Yeah.
It's the police here. Could you open up, please?
He's out.
What, the bloke who lives in the room?
Going to his sister's, I expect.
What's his name?
Hallwood. Tim Hallwood. What do you want him for?
Just following something up, routine, you know. Could you tell us what he looks like?
Late 20s. Thin, scruffy, bit of ordinary.
So.
Oi, watch where you're going.
Mrs. Wilkins.
Have you found him? No, not yet. Look, I've just got a few more questions. Can I come in? It's only a couple of things. Would he have had much money on him?
His dinner money, that's about all.
Right, and what school did he go to?
St. Joseph's.
St. Joseph's. Okay, and what about his clothes? Any of his things missing?
I don't know, I never thought to look.
Right, could you go and see now? And in the meantime, I'd like to have a good look round the flat.
What do you mean, have a look round?
Look, love, in cases like this, we always have to search the home.
For God's sake, do you think I've done him in or something?
No, of course not. But kids are funny. It's surprising the number of times people are looking everywhere for them and all the time they've hidden themselves in the cupboard.
I suppose so. Anyway, it won't take you long. Not much room to hide in here.
Right.
Paul, any more on the missing boy?
Not really, sir. Ackland's back there now.
He's probably gone home with one of his mates. You know what kids are like at that age. Time means nothing to them.
Possibly, but it's still 3.5 hours since school turned out. The thing that really worries me is this business of the man hanging around outside the school.
Oh, well, that's another school altogether, sir. It's about 3/4 of a mile away.
Yes, of course, but he may be doing the rounds. Has there been any sign at the address the little girl gave us?
Well, Garfield and Darcy went back, but Chummy hasn't been seen.
I want that man found.
I was going out myself shortly, sir.
CID should pick him up. I think you'd better join Ackland and make a start on some house-to-house inquiries. Someone might have seen the boy around the flats.
Yeah, right, sir.
And Tom, what about the father? Has he been told yet?
Well, he's not at the address we were given, but it's in hand.
Good. Oh, Tom, call all the relief in at 8 o'clock for a briefing. No need for Bob and Ackland to come in.
Sir.
I repeat, the missing boy's name is Tony Wilkins, age 9, last seen wearing a green anorak with blue and red on the sleeves. Anyone with any information, please contact Sun Hill Police Station immediately or tell any police officer. That's a missing boy, Tony Wilkins, age 9, last seen wearing a green anorak with blue and red on the sleeves.
Sir, we've a missing person that's starting to look a bit serious.
What's the score?
Yes, Tom?
Ackland just radioed in, sir. Seems the boy played truant today. No one's seen him since about 9 o'clock this morning.
OK, Andrew, you better stick with it. Keep me posted on any developments, OK?
Well, let's not hang about then, Tom. And keep all the relief informed. I don't want anyone walking straight past the kid and claiming afterwards they didn't know about it.
No problem.
Good man.
That's a missing boy, Tony Wilkins, age 9.
Which one did you say? The young one?
Yeah, that's right, young Tony.
It's a pity they wouldn't all run off, running up and down here till 10 and 11 every night. What the mother's up to, God only knows.
Yes, well, have you seen him about? And it seems he didn't go to school today.
There's nothing much unusual in that.
Well, he makes a habit of it, does he? What about today? Have you seen him about?
Can't say I have.
Yeah, well, thanks.
Well, excuse me.
Any joy?
Come on, open this door.
I think that could be trouble. I think it's the father.
Hey, yeah. Hey.
You're not fit to look after kids.
How long do you know anything about that?
You're not even fit to look after a dog, never mind kids.
That's what you cared about the kids when you walked out. Listen, I want him out of here. He's not supposed to be here. Now get him out.
Don't you worry, darling. I wouldn't come within 100 miles if you spent more time with the kids instead of your boyfriends.
Right, let's all stop shouting at each other, then maybe we can sort something out.
Sort it out. He's the one you want to sort out.
I'm not the one who can't be bothered to look after a couple of kids for 5 minutes.
5 minutes? Never mind about 5 minutes. He hasn't kept his eyes on him for 3 years.
Right, now come on.
Now listen, I want him out.
All right, let's cut it out,
Just
shall we?
get him out.
Listen, be quiet. Now, we've got better things to do. We're supposed to be out looking for Tony, not listening to you two shouting at one another.
Then get him out. I pay the rent and I want him out.
I think you better go, Mr. Wilkins.
Oh, no. I'm not going anywhere till Tony's back.
Oh, I think you are, you know.
Oh, yeah? And what you going to do about it, then?
Now, come on. This isn't helping anyone now, is it?
Oh, and I suppose if I don't, you're going to nick me, ain't you? Well, I might as well do something to make you nick me, haven't I? Hey! All right, come on. I've got enough of that. Come on, that'll do
And
ya.
don't let him out! If he comes back here again, I'll stick a knife in him!
Automatic alarm, Sarge.
Not the area car, take it?
They've just accepted a suspect shout on Sierra Bravo's ground.
It's all very well dragging everyone off the streets. There's still that accident in Mill Lane, and the dispute in the takeaway is about 10 minutes old.
So?
What do you want, Hollis?
Can I have a quick word about next week's duty?
Not now, Hollis.
Well, look, I'm down with Demo on Tuesday and I've got a Federation meeting.
Hollis, I said not now. Isn't it about time you were getting to that briefing?
And don't forget to check round the back of the old Methodist Hall. I understand the kids play in that yard in spite of the barbed wire. And the area car is appealing on the public address, so you'll be getting feedback from the public. I want every piece of information reported and followed up, no matter how unlikely it seems. If this one should turn out nasty, I want us to be confident that we haven't missed any chances. Right. Does everyone know what they're doing?
Yes, sir.
When you finish the area you've been given, get in touch with Sergeant Penny and he'll allocate you a new area. Yes, Hollis? Did you have something to add?
No, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, I'm due to finish early this evening. I'm owed 2 hours.
That may not be possible this evening, Melvin. I'll let you know. Garfield and Data, you deal with any emergency calls and just generally keep your eyes open in the likely places.
Yes, sir.
Right. Dismiss.
You want to play this one by the book, Andrew?
Yes, sir, I do. This kid hasn't been seen for nearly 12 hours. If he doesn't turn up soon, we're going to have a full-scale murder investigation on our hands. And everyone from the commissioner to the station cleaner will want to know why we didn't do everything yesterday.
Fair enough.
And between ourselves, sir, I think A-Relief could do with a bit more by the book and a bit less as you please.
Good evening, Sunhill CID. Is Mr. Stone in? I'm just calling back about his stolen stereo.
No, that'll be me son you want.
Well, could I see him for a minute?
No, pal, he's on his holidays, you know, and he won't be back till Wednesday or Thursday, I think.
All right.
Well, what is it like? Is there anything I can do? You haven't got it back, have you?
I'm afraid not, so I just wanted to ask him a few more questions. There's nobody at home in this town. You seen Carver?
No, Gar. He went out to do some second visits. Haven't seen him since.
Oh, that's great. We've got the uniforms panicking about some lost kid and he decides to have a night on the town.
Quick word, Frank.
Stay there. I might need you later.
CID.
So what's this about? That lost kid? Yeah. It's a bit early to start panicking, isn't it? I mean, half the kids on that estate come home with a milk anyway.
Maybe. There's the man hanging about outside the other school I don't like. Anyway, Andrew's taking no chances, which is the right way to play it in review.
Right, OK. That was the front office, sir. They've a woman come in, thinks she may have seen the boy this morning with a man.
All right, I'll get Dashwood onto it. Any photos?
There's one in the front office.
Do you have trouble with him?
No.
Uniformed inspectors have been known to have difficulties.
He knows his job and I know mine. I've never found it a problem.
Good. You're finding the relief a bit slack, though, are you?
They could do with a firm hand.
You've got 3 very experienced sergeants there, you know.
That may be it, sir. They've all got a bit too used to each other.
Yeah. I don't have to tell you, you need to keep Bob Cryer on your side.
Mr. Bryant? Yeah. It's over there, between the barges. Looks like a dead end to me. Right, we'll have a look. You'll not see much from over here. You'll have to get over that side. Right, look, you see if you can find anything and I'll try and get round the other side,
Okay.
all right?
I couldn't really be sure. It was more the green anorak that made me think.
What about the man?
I didn't take that much notice, really. It was just the boy when they said he had that green anorak with the red and blue on the sleeve. I'm sorry I can't be more help.
Not to worry. Thanks anyway.
That's all right, mate. You in there, chip?
Gemp as a kitten, ain't you, boy? He keeps the kids out. He'd have nicked you to death.
Oh, yeah? Look, anyway, can I have a look down by the barges? There could be a body down there.
Sure. I've seen a few of them fished out in my time. Come on, boy.
So if he's not at the house, we have to wait there until he is.
You got it. Whether he's got anything to do with this missing kid or not, it's time we had a word with him.
You know, there are some people in this world who work 9 to 5.
Oh, don't think about it. It'll only depress you.
it's a false alarm. I'll come round and pick you up. Can you get on to Nick and tell him?
Sierra Oscar from 181, are you receiving?
I've been on the phone to the chief super. He wants to be kept informed. Is there any more news?
Not really, sir. At least the call to the canal was a false alarm.
Yeah, well, that's something anyway. Listen, I think you better tell your relief I'll be staying on for the time being.
Right, sir.
Oh, and come to my office when you put the night duty in the picture, will you?
June,
Sir?
did you check up on the father?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There's no previous. He's got a bit of a temper, that's all. According to the neighbours, they spend their time throwing things at one another. But the kids are treated perfectly well. I asked a couple of people on the estate where he lives now, but they haven't seen him with a boy.
Good. Good work.
Thanks, sir.
What do you want to do? Have a look downstairs on the video?
Yeah.
All right, see you in a bit.
Oh, dear.
A release from Sierra Oscar. Message from Inspector Monroe. All late turn officers have been held on until further notice. Repeat, late turn officers remain on duty until further notice. Message end.
You all right, Ken?
Yeah, just great. I'm soaked. There's about 6 inches of water down here.
You got that last message?
No, of course I didn't.
Well, the good news is we've all been kept on.
Oh, terrific.
Come in. Yes, Bob.
We keeping the lads on, sir?
Yes.
Well, is there any point? It's got dark now. They're not going to see much.
Depends how hard they're looking. It won't hurt them to do another hour's work. There might be a child lying dead out there.
With respect, sir, he's probably gone walkabouts. You know what kids are like these
If
days.
it turns out he's gone up to the West End to go and see a porno film, or been to Margate for the day, I'll be delighted. But until we know differently, I'm treating this as serious.
Yes, but I
Bob,
mean...
I value your advice. Now, please feel free to give me your opinion at any time, but I'll make the decisions.
Sir?
Seems to me that some of A Relief need to understand that there's only one way to do police work, the correct way.
I think they do understand that, sir.
Let's make sure, shall we?
In vacant or in pensive mood, Bob?
Monroe.
Oh, he's a good governor, I like him. No, I've got a lot of respect for him, haven't you?
It isn't what he says, it's what he doesn't say. He criticises the relief and he makes you feel like it's my fault, our fault. You know, we're not keeping them up to scratch.
Well, if you can't take criticism, Bob.
No, he hasn't done it to you yet. Well, wait till he does. You'll see what I mean.
He's got to assert himself, hasn't he? Leave it a while. We'll get him trained.
Evening, Joyce.
Mr. Hollis?
Yeah?
Sandhill Police, sir. We'd like you to come down to the station.
Why?
You may be able to help us with our inquiries.
OK. I'll come along now, shall I? What's it about?
A child's gone missing.
Oh, right. Anything I can do to help?
Can we just have a quick look round your room before we go, sir?
If you like.
Everything okay, Bob?
Sir?
You shouldn't have to keep me here too long tonight. There's not a lot you can achieve this time of night.
Exactly.
Mr. Monroe does have his own way of doing things, you know, Bob.
All relief inspectors do, sir. I've seen them come and I've seen them go, and they all have their own little ways.
Well, I hope you're not waiting for Mr. Monroe to go. You've only just got him.
I didn't say that, sir. Just some people are easier to work with than others.
Yeah, well, with your experience, you should be able to work with anyone, Bob, hard or easy.
Well, it doesn't bother me, sir. Water off a duck's back.
Good.
So, you were at your sister's all afternoon.
That's right.
What's her phone number?
250-3681.
Tell me, Tim. Do you like children?
Oh, I love them. Children are the future, aren't they? I'll go and talk to them, you know, outside the school.
Do you really?
Kids have so much awareness. I usually disappear though when the teachers show up. They might think I was some kind of weirdo.
Can't be too careful these days.
If more people listen to kids, there'd be more peace in the world. They'd give me ideas for songs, you know. I'll write songs.
Interesting. Do you ever ask any of the children to your home? Invite them for walks?
Oh, no. I wouldn't invade their space, you know. They got rights, same as us.
So, tell me about these songs, Tim.
Well, I don't reckon he's in the frame, sir. I mean, he's a leftover hippie, peace and love merchant. He just likes talking to kids. We can keep him in, but I don't think it'll do any good.
OK. Is there any point in getting an identikit artist, Frank?
Not much, but I suppose we'll have to give it a run.
Ah, you seen the night duty, Andrew?
Yes, sir.
Good, because I don't think we're going to achieve much more tonight. We should start thinking in terms of what to get started on in the morning.
Yeah, well, he could still turn up once the streets get empty.
Yeah, well, let's hope so. But I wouldn't count on it. What you need first, Frank, is an incident room.
I'll get it set up.
Right. Anything on the underwater search unit, Tom?
It's all arranged, sir. Should be ready to start first light. There'll be a TSG unit here at 8.
Good.
Oh, by the way, sir, they're getting a few press inquiries downstairs.
Yeah, well, there's not a lot we can say.
Sierra Oscar from Sierra Oscar 7. Are you receiving?
He's turned up then, Gov.
Yeah. So is Carver. 2 results in one day. Can't be bad, can it? Anyway, I'm going for a drink. At least they're still open.
Would it make any difference if they weren't?
Hello, Andrew. Panic over.
I don't believe in panic, Frank.
Right, when you go on to the hospital, it's got to be him.
Yeah.
I'll get onto the Nick and see about picking up his mother.
Okay.
What is it, Jim? Glue?
I don't know. Stupid kid. I think he'll be all right.